Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. When I mean we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, D. What's happening?
You mean the person that you put on the thumbnail, the imposter, pretending to be me, the person that I didn't give you permission to upload my likeness to create that image, me.
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
That's exactly who we're talking about today. Well, so this guy and whoever that other person is in the thumbnail, which is clearly not me, could be our other brother, Dan.
Could be.
We don't know. We're going to be answering YouTube questions today. If you do have a question that you want answered, I'm putting this up on the corner of the screen right now. You can go to nicknimmin.com/ask. It is first come, first serve. We'll be answering all the questions today.
We will.
All of them, including how did you make this picture of me?
So this
look like me.
Yeah, so this particular picture, I loaded this up into ChatGPT.
Of course you did.
Yeah, so I basically just found a picture of you off the internet and then loaded it up. And last week's thumbnail was the same as well, but nobody caught last week's.
Yeah.
So it was more passable last week's.
Like me, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the sideways thing that kind of messed it all up. Yeah. But yeah, like basically I loaded this into ChatGPT and then had ChatGPT remake you. And then I cut you out and then put you in there and did that whole thing. So yeah, it's thumbs down, I guess, because, right out of the gate, people are coming in the chat and they're like, hey, wait a minute. That's not D.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's that poster? Is it an AI robot? Like, who is that?
Beanie and Kathy. Nailed it. Hey, David. How you doing?
What's up, David? Hope everybody's doing great. Nice to see everybody. Hope that you had a fantastic week. So if this is your first time here, what we are doing is we are answering YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything related to YouTube, you want feedback on your YouTube channel, anything like that, you can go ahead and go to nicknimmin.com/ask, and it will send you to the form that we are taking all of those questions from. Or if you are on YouTube right now, then there's a direct link right at the bottom or top of the chat, depending on which view you have, and you can click into that, and that will also take you to that same exact form that we are pulling questions from. And if you submit a question there, we will get you answered on the stream today. But first, D, you had mentioned that there was somebody in chat that was having some trouble with their YouTube channel.
Okay. What
was the name of that channel again? Or that was in chat, right? That you were saying that, or that was somewhere else?
No, it's just a random thing.
Oh, you saw that on like X or something?
It was Crispy Flights.
Oh, okay. So they weren't in the chat.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But we can talk about it because it's relevant.
No, it's okay. I thought that it was in the chat. I thought somebody was in here asking for help, so I was going to give them solutions on what they should do.
So there's a channel that we ran across. No, the name of their video was,
I got it.
Crispy Flights has been demonetized. We need your help.
Got it. Okay.
So they're 1,000+ shorts, like 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 views per short, making some pretty interesting AI and real mixed content, and they've been demonetized. And I know that's kind of a problem right now on YouTube with a lot of channels getting demonetized.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate that situation, especially because we pulled it up before the stream, and
it was in the chat.
Yeah, I thought it was in chat. That's why I was even looking in the first place. Is I was like, oh, okay, well they're here, so let's check them out and see what it is that they have going on. So yeah, so now that got it. Okay. All right, so now we're up to speed. So, so hope...
That's what you get?
It is.
For making an imposter in your thumbnail.
It is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop into the first question. Right now, we just have one question in here. So if you do have any questions, make sure that you do drop them into the chat. If no questions come in, it's fine. We'll just hang out and, do our thing, do our nonsense that we do with D and I, going back and forth here. But Broken Timber is the first question right here. Broken Timber uploads 1 time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do outdoors content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, tell me how to improve on anything that you see that needs it. All right, we're kicking this puppy off right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's see what you got here, Broken Timber. So while we are getting started, I do want to remind you that if you haven't yet, make sure that you do give this stream a thumbs up, just so that, so we can get that love in here to let YouTube know that you're enjoying the stream. And for this Broken Timber channel, we actually had them up last week as well. And with this, let's see here, I camped in my brand new tent. Okay. And you are doing this like Kindle Gray, so we're going to open them up. So the very first thing that we are going to do here is I'm going to open this up in a split view. And this is the reason that I ask for, like a reference channel. So, when somebody submits a question for, in case you haven't been here before. So when somebody submits a question into the form, one of the things that we ask for is if they have, if they want feedback on their YouTube channel, then we ask them to put another channel that, that they, that's kind of leading the space, right? And because of that, in this case, it becomes super clear in terms of why we do that specific thing. So let's see here. So let me pull this up on screen. And I think I just did the one. So I might have to do this once it's up.
Are you adding somebody right now?
No, I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the very first thing to do, and this is, can be a learning moment for, everybody. And that thing is, if we look at these two channels, the one on the left is the, channel in question. The one on the right is the question or the channel that they, were mentioning as a reference. So first off, I just want to mention really quick that, you've got almost 1,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. So, you're heading in the right direction. I just want you to know that a lot of content creators don't even reach that far when it comes to, getting results on YouTube. So because of that, you're already doing a lot better than, a lot of other content creators. So because of that, I just want to acknowledge that and just let you know that. And it's okay. You can you can absolutely, do this, more than one time. It's fine. But, one of the things that I want to bring to your attention here is if we just scroll down here and we only look at the thumbnails next to each other, I just want you to look and just see the difference in terms of your thumbnails compared to their thumbnails, because you are offering, it looks like, somewhat similar content, but you can see when it comes to their thumbnails, like the image quality is higher. They've pumped up the colors a bit in their, hunting gear here. So like it really captures attention. They've added some extra graphics here to the thumbnail in this situation. Everything is nice and focused, right? In terms of, them being able to capture people's attention with, their thumbnails and their thumbnails being focused on something. And when it comes to yours, you do have it to where you are focusing on things, but in terms of the image quality, that could be improved. In terms of little details, and I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but when you are examining thumbnails, right? If we look at this one right here, and you just look at the colors, right? You can see how everything is just almost like it's just straight out of camera, right? But if we come over here and we look at it on this side, you can see the colors are just more vibrant, more rich, a little bit more, alive. And some of them are more than others. So here, it's pretty obvious in this one up here at the top. I got to turn this. Oh, it's because it's in split view. Interesting. But you can see up here, like it's obvious that they pumped up the colors of the grass and then the stuff in the background. So those are the types of things that you want to think about in terms of how can I take a great photo, which if you're using pretty much any modern phone, you can take a good photo, especially if you're outside. However, the next step is how can I take that photo and make it look good and attractive for a YouTube thumbnail, right? And that doesn't mean that you have to go through a bunch of, a bunch of graphic design things in order to make your thumbnails look good. It just means that it's important that you get good at taking good photos and processing those photos so that when they show up somewhere on YouTube, they really stand out. But, in terms of the actual photos themselves, how you're positioning things here, you with the fish, that's great, right? So you're nailing that part. But the part that I would work on next would be the actual quality of the photo and learning how to process a photo. So really quick, Lou Man says that colors cost cash. They don't. So there are free apps. Like, for example, one is called Snapseed. Inside of Snapseed, you can open that up. It's on, they make it for iPhone and for Android. You can open that up. You can increase the brightness. You can increase the contrast. You can adjust the colors. You can even remove objects from it if you want to, and it's all free. So you can do all these things for free. You just have to be resourceful and figure out what those free things are in order to do it if you're somebody that doesn't want to spend money on those types of things. So with that, that would be the next thing that I would work on in your case, is just getting your thumbnails up to par. And again, you're not going for something that's over processed. You're just going for something that kind of lightens everything up a little bit. Like, for example, if you look at his face right here, you can see in this thumbnail here, you can see how, if you look at his eyes, right, like the areas right around here on his eyes, all of that has been lightened a little bit inside of Photoshop or whatever tool that he uses. And that makes it to where it doesn't give him raccoon eyes, right? To where in your case, if you look at your thumbnail here, you know, because that hasn't been done, it adds more darkness around your eyes and things like that. So just learning how to process your photos is the next thing that I would work on in your case. And then D abandoned me here for this next one. So we got some questions coming in, so it's all good. But I'm like, yeah, I hope D hangs out in case no questions came in so we could talk. And then he just bailed. He just bailed on me. He's like, hey, this is what you get for using my having ChatGPT make a photo of me. And he just like left. So the next question that we have here, he didn't leave for good. He just stepped out for a minute. So the next question that we have here is from Home Rapid Repair. What's going on there? Hope you're doing great. Home Rapid Repair says they upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. He does home repair and help content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I think I'm starting to learn the difference about broad topic and getting homepage activity versus evergreen specific topics that grow over time, but slowly. Best practice would be to mix different topics back and forth. Yes. So basically the whole play that you want to make there is you want to figure out, like, okay, over the course of, let's say, 90 days, I'm going to be publishing X amount of videos to my YouTube channel based on my normal upload cadence. And because of that, I know that if I make some search targeted content that solves very specific problems that people are searching Google and YouTube for, that there's a good chance that I can get a video to show up there for people, and I can kind of count on that. So because of that, you make those videos for the sake of long-term evergreen, viewership. But then you also take swings at trying to get people to respond off of the recommendation system. So when you do that, one of the things that you mentioned here is about more broad topics and things like that for recommendations. So the different approach that you have to take is when it comes to search, you're answering very specific questions and helping people solve very specific problems. But when it comes to recommendations, you need to start thinking like, okay, if somebody is going to be seeing this on their homepage, it's likely that if I talk about a very particular type of like lawnmower or something like that, it might get in front of the right people, but chances are going to be much lower that just at scale that you're just going to nail it in terms of, getting in front of only people that are, that have that lawnmower. However, since you do, home repair type of things, then if you make something about, plumbing, you make something, and not just like fixing a pipe, but in terms of, something just more general plumbing related that anybody that has like a toilet could relate to or a sink could relate to, right? Like you've been unclogging your drains wrong, and this is how to do it right, or something along those lines. Or just simply, you've been unclogging your drains wrong. And then by doing that, when people see that type of thing, or you've been plunging your toilet wrong, whatever the thing is, then in that case, when they see that, then it creates that curiosity spark where they start thinking like, oh, I wonder if it is wrong, or if this content creator, just has a different way of doing it. And then it creates that reason for somebody to click on it because that particular thing will apply to a lot more people than how to fix a, particular type of lawnmower engine, as an example. So I hope that helped. But yeah, in terms of, doing both, it's definitely advantageous. And if you really want to level that up, you can double dip. And double dipping is where you basically, in your case specifically, because you're doing home repair content, you do need to fix, very specific things for that. But for some of your videos, you can also double dip to where, it will help people solve a very specific problem, but you also make it broad enough that it's still interesting to enough people when it's being recommended on home pages and suggested videos, so you can bring them into. But like in your case, search is just like good for long, steady growth and income, which is one of the things that you're trying to do with the channel. And then recommendations are good for faster growth, quick spikes, things like that. So I would definitely try your hand at both and work them into your strategy. Eileen, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. Hope you've been amazing. Charlie Morris, what's up? Hope you're doing great. And iFun Chris, thank you for the super chat, man. Says AI thumbnails can hurt your YouTube channel. No. So You can use AI thumbnails in your YouTube channel, no problem at all. The problem when it comes to YouTube and AI content is what they are trying to do is they are like they don't want people uploading low effort, easy to reproduce content to YouTube at scale, right? So like as an example, you know, channels are uploading videos to YouTube that are just like image slideshows, and you can automate all that stuff really easy. You can automate the upload process. You can automate, you know, it writing titles, making thumbnails for it, and all that stuff. And those are the types of things that YouTube is clamping down on right now. Now, with that said, they are demonetizing a lot of channels for inauthentic content where people are using other people's content and that sort of thing. But when it comes to AI thumbnails, using AI clips in your videos and things like that, or even making a full video with AI, all of that is fine as long as it's high quality, good stuff, right? Then you're okay. I do collab from time to time, says Jay Rels. Yeah, I do collaborations from time to time. Depends on the creator and if we have good audience crossover or not. Yeah, Dutch Sim World. No, you're fine when it comes to like it's perfectly fine to have AI thumbnails. Yeah, I'm the same. So when it comes to thumbnails, I also like I'll have like 1 of 10. Like the last video that I published, that's a 1 of 10 thumbnail. And what I did with that one is I had 1 of 10 make it, and then I went in and I was like, okay, there's just some things that I want to change to it. I want to add like a vignette around it so that there's just a stronger focus on me and the YouTube button. I want to brighten up that button a little bit. I want to remove the background and make it where the background doesn't stand out as much, and put like a little blueprint thing behind it with YouTube related, you know, kind of blueprint type stuff on it. And so I took the, so I had it make the blueprint graphic, and then I had it make the one with me, and then I brought everything into Photoshop, cut things out, you know, and repositioned things, blurred stuff, added the vignette, pumped up colors, you know, did all of that stuff. So, so using it as a way to getting that nice strong start is good if you know how to use the other tools. But for people that don't know how to use the other tools like Photoshop and Canva and TubeSpanner and stuff like that, for those people, then just running full AI is also perfectly fine as long as you're using good tools that give you a good quality result. So next up on our list, we have Dr. Vibe. What's up, man? Hope you're doing great. Nice to see you in here. Valentine Station, what's up? Hope you're doing awesome. So next up on our list here, we have Dutch Sim World. Dutch Sim World uploads every other day. They make gaming content, been making videos for less than a month. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to the creator side of YouTube. It's awesome over here. It can be frustrating. It can be discouraging at times, but you are giving yourself right now, by being a content creator now, you're giving yourself the opportunity to tap into the amazing opportunities that YouTube have. And it's not just monetary. You know, you can get monetary benefit from it. You can open doors that you never, thought possible. You can create some, you don't necessarily, I guess you do kind of create friendships, but you can, meet people, through your channel and stuff like that as well. But in terms of the opportunity, it really, really is strong on YouTube. But on this channel here, the Dutch Sim World, they upload every other day, but on YouTube for less than a month. It's gaming content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, can I have shorts and longs on the same channel? Absolutely, you can. Yeah, no problem with that. The only thing that you need to make sure that you're thinking about is if somebody is watching my short and then they click on my channel name because they liked the short and they want to watch more of my content, then in that case, do I have more shorts that would be good for that person? And does my long form content, is that also a good fit for that person that is clicking on my content from shorts? Same exact thing applies. If I'm watching your long form content, then based on my interests around your long form content that you are publishing, if YouTube shows me one of your shorts, am I also going to enjoy that because that's also targeted towards me? So the whole thing when it comes to your YouTube channel is you want to make sure that you're targeting everything towards a certain type of viewer. Food Boy says YouTube teaches patience. Absolutely, it does. What's going on, Sue? Hope you're doing great. Vortex Gaming, what's up? Nice to see you in here. Slay Went Walking, what's up?
It does.
Hope everybody's doing awesome.
It does teach patience.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Beanie earlier before we started the stream. Beanie was talking about that thumbnail not being you also.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple of those come through. Yeah, so I guess we won't be using that one anymore.
My lawyers
will be contacting me.
Yeah.
They'll be in touch.
My people will be in touch with your people.
Yeah.
Put it
Like,
in
man,
this.
again, right?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
All right. So next up, and I'm going to address this one really quick too, because this is important. So they say many creators are talking about their views being down. Do you think it's because of all the AI channels that have popped up, taking view time away from non-AI channels? So this is an interesting idea. And the reason that it's interesting is because some content creators, their views are up. Some content creators, their views are down. So of course, when people's views are up, they're not on X and Reddit and all this stuff being like, oh man, this is amazing. My views are going great. They just stay focused. They stay on the grind.
Right.
But when people are, like YouTube doesn't go like this forever, right? Like, you're going to have, things like this. You might have some down points and then it can go back up and, it's kind of a roller coaster. And because of that, when people are having those down moments, then the world is suddenly on fire, right? And it's always YouTube, right? When they're winning, it's never like, oh, hey, YouTube is favoring me right now. Right. They're just promoting my stuff. It's not that I'm making good content or anything like that. It's that YouTube is finding, like they're in favor of me right now. People don't hop on the internet and say that. But when their channel, is taking a dip, they absolutely hop on, all of the different places on social media. They make videos about it. They do all these things where they're like, well, YouTube's, everything's changed. YouTube is holding me down.
I think there's a lot to be said too about how much YouTube is prioritizing shorts. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't go anywhere on YouTube without them trying to get you to go into the short shelf. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, that is going to have an impact on long form videos.
Sure.
So I think that there's something to be said about that. The more they push shorts, those views are going to go away. Mm-hmm. In theory.
For long form.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So in addition to that, you also have the AI summaries that they're doing too.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, so with the AI summaries, you look for something in search, it gives you the AI version, stuff like that. So you have those types of problems too. Yeah. But the thing with views being, down on certain channels, like just keep in mind that, YouTube has been for a long time people's career of choice, to where kids wanted to be YouTubers more than they wanted to be astronauts, firemen, doctors, and all that stuff. So now that we're in the place where those people are becoming YouTubers, so the influx of content creators on YouTube, plus just it's known now that YouTube is an opportunity. And because of that, there's a huge influx of content creators, just like there always has been, but it just keeps getting more and more. And because of that, every content creator comes on, if they're an AI creator or a regular creator, then that just makes everything more competitive. So in order for everything to stay consistent, and this is why it goes like this. In order for everything to stay consistent, you have to continuously beat everybody in order for everything to just stay going like this all the time. And if you look at, like, let me go to Social Blade, for example. And Social Blade's a place where you can just kind of look at like channel history over time and stuff like that. And even if we go to the biggest content creator on YouTube, if we look at his channel, and this is since 2023, then you can see here, same exact thing. You have these spikes, drops, big drops here, big spikes here, has these drops, he's on his way back up here. And then that's for subscriber gains.
Yeah.
And then here, if we go to the view counts, though,
right,
you can see here his views are almost as big as they've ever been.
Yeah.
So he's had a couple peaks that have beaten this out, like right here, here, and here. But besides that, his views are almost at a point to where he has only 3 areas in his YouTube journey where he's had more views than he has now. So his subscriber conversion has dropped. But in terms of the amount of views that he's getting, you can see the journey that he's had. So trajectory-wise, he's still moving up, right? But in terms of that swing that happens...
He took a hit right there.
Yeah, it took a big hit right here. This was August of 2025.
August last year.
And then he starts climbing again. And he's even been public about some of this and said like, hey, I haven't been, working as hard, on my videos, and I'm going to do better and stuff like that. But even in situations like his, where he's literally leading the charge on YouTube, you can see even here, how his channel is kind of like a roller coaster in terms of, from month to month, and how he also has moments in time where things just aren't going, the way that he wants, because everybody just by default, you always want to keep going up, right? But even in situations like his, he still has those times where he has to step down in order to step back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's more competitive than ever. There are only so many impressions to go around. There are only so many people on YouTube at any given, or on the internet in any given moment. And you have to think about, with all the new channels that are popping up, doesn't matter if they're human or AI, all the new shorts that are being uploaded daily, which is just some staggering number. In addition to all the videos that are getting uploaded, the long form videos that are uploaded every day. I forget what it is, but it's a staggering number. Then you have all the other platforms.
Like 10 years ago, it was 500 hours of video every minute.
Right.
Yeah. So that was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago.
Shorts wasn't there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. People were still kind of weird about being, uploading content and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's massive.
Yeah. So you have to be competitive. That's the bottom line. You have to be competitive. And even then, as you just saw with the chart from Mr. Beast, there are ebbs and flows to this. You're going to have seasons where you're up. You're going to have seasons when you're down. But it is getting more competitive. You can definitely do it. Social media is no longer a game where you can just throw some stuff up against the wall, cross your fingers, and hope something works.
Right.
Like, you really need to approach this with strategy. And if you're just getting started, you don't know what to do, it's fine. But like, once you're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this is the direction I want to go in, you have to go.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. And you have to go in that direction and really put in an effort and really try to stay competitive and keep trying to understand what your audience wants.
Yeah.
I know it's really easy to make content and then drift. You drift away from your audience.
And get lazy.
And your audience changes too, depending on the type of content you make. Your audience grows beyond you. Your audience interest changes. So you constantly have to ingest new audience as you go as well.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
In terms of how it all works, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
You
this is the game we're playing.
Yep.
Everyone in here is playing this game. What's up, Shark Scrapper?
Brad, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great.
Hey, and plus you have all the other platforms.
You got all the you got all the
attention is going everywhere. It's not just YouTube.
Yep.
I mean, YouTube is growing.
Oh yeah.
At a ridiculous rate.
Man, speaking of which,
attention is everywhere.
So I was in Benji Travis's live stream last night he is awesome,
by the way.
So I was in his live stream last night. He was on the Creator Secrets YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And Benji, for those of you that don't know, he's the co-author. I think we have his book here.
Do we have it?
I got to bring Daryl's book back in here.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Benji's the co-author of this with Sean Cannell, and their live stream was really interesting because his producer. He was doing a presentation of sorts where he was sharing all of this, data on like growth around YouTube and its comparisons to all of the other social media platforms in terms of just revenue, users, like all this stuff. And YouTube is just smoking everybody.
Yeah.
At a staggering,
yeah.
Where you're just like, holy cow, like it, but then when you see it presented that way in those direct comparisons, like they're just eating everybody's lunch.
Yeah.
Everybody. Like, yeah, nobody compares.
You know this, but I don't think the audience knows this. But I want to say this because I just...
J Unit. Hey, thanks for the kind words, man.
Hey, Tom Nash is in the house.
He is.
He is.
Yeah, I hit his button already.
All right.
Yeah.
When the entire world is shut down, a lot of you know, we live in Thailand. A lot of you know that I got stuck in Mexico for 2 years. I couldn't get back home. And the entire time I was in Mexico, Benji Travis regularly contacted me to make sure I was doing okay.
Nice.
And to see if I needed anything. Like, and I don't even know Benji that well, but like, that's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you don't know, like he's an awesome, really, really genuine guy.
Yeah.
Like that was one of those things for me. It's like, what a great guy. Just checking in on somebody in another country. You need anything? Can I send you anything?
Yep.
Can I help in any way? Yeah, it's just awesome.
Yeah, he is. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually here. So this is his channel that they're going live on. So I'm just going to share this with you because, since you guys like live streaming, like their streams are a little bit more heady on some of them. To where here, we're answering questions, things like that with them. Are you showing it? I just dropped it in the chat.
Oh.
With the streams that they're doing over there, they're talking about, like content, at scale and like all these other things. So, definitely check that out if you're interested in these, creator focused type conversations.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So next up on our list here, we got Snowy Toast. Sounds like a good time. Snowy Toast is getting ready to start their YouTube channel.
It depends on where you're at in the world when you're talking about Snowy Toast.
Sure.
Could be a good time.
Yeah.
Could just be Snowy Toast.
Could be. Wet, soggy, snowy toast.
Yeah.
So they're going to start their channel. They do Minecraft content, or they're going to be. The goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And they say, how do I start? I want to start in 2 years. Start now. Like, you don't wait. Yeah, if you're going to start in 2 years, then, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. Like, if you are, going to start a channel, then start a channel.
Let me add something here. How old are you? Like, you might be too young.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
You might be under the age to actually create your own channel.
Yeah, that's true.
So if that's the case,
then in 2 years,
But nothing's stopping you today from grabbing your phone or whatever equipment you have, your iPhone, your camera, whatever you have, and learning how to make content.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping you from practicing. Nothing's stopping you from watching everyone's videos and learning and ingesting all this information and coming up with a game plan. Nothing's stopping you from doing that now.
Yes.
So when the time comes to actually start uploading to YouTube, if that's your situation, you'll be ready. Otherwise, see, they are underage.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Boom.
Yep.
Not old enough. See, a little insight.
Yeah.
Little bit of thought. A little bit of, right?
Absolutely.
There you go. That's what you get for putting somebody else in the thumbnail.
Right.
Yeah, you're trying. Yeah, you've got this. Listen, man, you're young. You have loads of time ahead of you.
Yeah.
Start practicing. Learning. Okay, I don't know.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish your thing first, and then I'll
have
go.
2 years.
We have the opportunity to impact like a little person here.
Yes.
A little kid.
Yeah, young man, young lady. You have 2 years. You can learn how to edit, how to shoot, how to speak confidently on camera, how to speak without rambling. You have 2 years where you can come home from school and just say, I'm going to dedicate the next hour or two to learn a skill.
Yep.
I'm going to learn how to, I'm not even going to tell you to waste your time making thumbnails anymore, because you can prompt it in ChatGPT.
Yeah, in 2 years, you're not even have to think about that.
Use 1 of 10 or something like that, to where it's going to be made. Yeah, in 2 years, you will not be making manual thumbnails anymore. Yeah. And it's possible that you're not going to be editing videos either in 2 years. That's highly possible.
Yeah.
But your personality and the way you communicate is going to be everything.
Yeah.
Learn how to craft titles. Learn how to communicate. Get over your camera shyness. Record yourself, even though it's not being posted right now.
Yep.
Get comfortable in front of the camera. You got this, man.
Tom Nash, congratulations,
we're rooting
man.
for you.
He says he forgot to let you know he hit a major milestone, had his first 1 million view video 2 weeks ago. Love it. High five and fist bump to you.
Way to go, man.
Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely love it.
And Joey, keep checking in with us. Let us know what your progress is.
Yeah, so my tips for you is, even though you can't publish to YouTube yet because you're younger, you can still practice making videos.
Right. That's what I said. You're going to repeat me for the entire time.
Hold on. And the reason that you want to practice making videos is because you want to be able to watch yourself back and be critical of yourself. So basically watching yourself back, looking for filler words, looking for just how you're saying things, those sorts of things, and just spend a lot of time learning the communication side of being a content creator, because that can make a really big difference. Just how you talk to the people that you're in front of can make a really big difference on how people respond to you.
Yeah. And Joey says that they don't really want to use AI. That's cool. I think it's great if you want to learn how to manually do that. But at the same time, I would be learning how to use AI, because I can we're neck deep into this industry. You don't have to make thumbnails anymore. AI is making great thumbnails.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to learn how to do it, that's great. But we're at the point now where it's making amazing thumbnails.
Yeah. Yep.
And there are already video editors and people that are using Claude Code to edit the videos for them. Yeah. There are already plugins that some editors have that's doing some editing for them. So within the next 2 years, editing is probably going to go the way of thumbnails.
Yeah,
or pretty close to it.
Yep.
So learn how to manually do it so you understand it, and also learn AI. So the AI is going to allow you to take the understanding that you have and work faster. And that's really the goal here. The goal is efficiency.
Yeah.
Right? How fast can I get this idea up on social media?
Yeah.
So that's what you need to do. Work on your systems. Work on being efficient.
Chatty Cathy says, Happy Mother's Day to moms. Yeah, so as a reminder to everybody, Mother's Day is tomorrow. If you are in America, Mother's Day is tomorrow. So happy Mother's Day.
Is it the 10th or 11th?
I think it's the 10th, I believe.
I think this year it's the 11th, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's the 10th. Maybe you're thinking because of our time zone.
Yeah.
But on Mother's Day, U.S. is May 10th.
Tomorrow. Yep, you're right. I almost...
Yeah, you're probably thinking just time zone wise, because it'll be the 11th for us.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell our mother that you almost forgot it.
Yep. Yep. Send her a message. Let her know.
I almost came in fashionably late. Happy Mother's Day, Ma. Nick told me it was today, and I believed him.
Yeah, blame it on me.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So next up, we have RP Games 11. And by the way, if you are just joining us, we are talking about everything related to YouTube. So if you are a content creator, you are in the right place. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, you want feedback on your channel, anything like that, if you're watching us on YouTube, there is a link that is pinned either to the bottom or the top of the chat box. You can click on that and it takes you to that form where we are answering the questions from. If you are watching this from somewhere that is not YouTube, then you can go to nickniman.com/ask and it will take you to that same exact place.
Well, I almost just dropped the ball on Mother's Day. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
I would have 100% blamed that on you.
Yeah, that's all right.
100%.
It's okay.
I would have said, Mom, go back and watch the live stream. He promised me it was on the 11th.
Yep.
He told me they changed it this year
Yep.
because it was a leap year.
And I would have went to visit and she would have been like, no, you're not welcome here.
And I believed him.
Yep. And we would have went to visit, or I would have went to visit and she would have been like, yeah, you're not welcome here because you keep lying to your brother.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what she would say.
Mom will take sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, D is the favorite, just in case you guys don't know.
Just know your place in the family is all we ask.
So RPG Games or RP Games, they upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for less than a year. They do gaming content. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I've gotten a channel from you before, and I just wanted to submit again to see if I've improved. My question is, how are my thumbnails? Let's take a look. Let's take a gander and see what you got going on here.
I think the second born is supposed to be the favorite.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay, well, that's how it's supposed to be, but then there's reality.
Yeah.
You know? Like the world's supposed to be like fair and balanced too, but it's not.
That's right. Hey,
You
Ron.
know?
See, Ron knows what's up. He says, know your lane. That's right.
Yep. All right, RP Games. So let's take a look and see what it is that you have going on here. Okay, so first, I know you want feedback on your thumbnails, but instead of subscribe for awesome content, it looks like you're clearly playing a specific game here. So because of that, I would, let people know the games that you're highlighting or something like that up here. This isn't going to like change the game for your channel or anything, but the idea is just to make it clear so when people land on this, they instantly know what's up without having to think about it. Like they know what it is that you're offering. And then next up on the list here, it's like your thumbnails, no breaks. Can I beat desert without breaking? Okay. So with these, I think that, with the imagery, it's probably pretty clear, game imagery. So if you're playing this game, this might stand out to you. But one thing that I would do is I would try to make it just a little bit more clear that it is about the game, right? Because here, like the game graphics are so good that it actually looks like this might be a shot from real life. And because of that, if you put the game graphic on here, then that will at least let people know that are into games that this is a game of some kind. So I would definitely consider that when it comes to your thumbnails. How can I beat desert without breaking? Can I beat peaks without losing all my lives? Yeah, so here too. So it looks like you're doing, can I beat desert without breaking? So in order for this to matter, they need to connect with whatever it is that you have going on here, and they need to know the game, and they need to know about this desert level. So because of that, you definitely want to make sure that you're adding the game name in here too. So instead of can I beat desert without breaking, can I beat desert in whatever game it is without breaking? And then by doing that, one, you're just giving the video extra context by, putting that in your title in terms of YouTube system. And I mean, the system's going to figure it out anyway, but you're just adding that extra clarity there. But in addition to that, you're also letting the viewer know, which is what's most important, when it gets recommended to them, this lets the potential viewer that you're trying to connect with know that this video is about that game, right? So that's what you're going for there. When you're doing things like, Minecraft, it's different here because it's a little bit more clear. Even with this, though, you can see how dark everything is, right? So, like, if we... Yeah, I got to get my tool fired up here.
Fire up that tool.
Yeah, so, like, if we're looking at this... Yeah, I actually do need to figure out where that tool's at. But if we're looking at this, right, it's just pretty dark when it comes to Minecraft. So what you want to do is you do want to make sure that you lighten things up enough, and that the characters that you are featuring, that it is clear that it's those characters. Like this up here, I think is fine, but this down here is I would definitely work on that.
I don't remember what the channel was before. Do you remember pulling this up?
I
RPG
don't.
Games?
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, I don't remember.
But yeah, in terms of like how you're putting them together, the text you're putting on them, things like that, I think all that's great. But you should add more clarity that it is about that game so that it's just clear to people. Because what you don't want from a video performance perspective is you don't want YouTube sending this to people that are just into cycling. And then they click on it, and they come in, they're like, oh, wait a minute, this is a game. And then they end up, backing out of it, right? Because then it's like, oh, people are abandoning this video quickly. So adding that clarity is definitely helpful.
The character looks like a Tron character. Like he's wearing like a Tron suit with a Tron bike, but it's for, it's for bicycles.
That's good. Okay, next up.
Yo, RPM Nexus.
RPM Nexus, what's up, man? Hope you're doing great.
Good to see you, my dude.
Hope you're doing amazing.
You know what's funny? So when you just put up RPG gaming, it made me think of RPM Nexus. Just because of the RPM RGB. I was actually thinking, I wonder what he's up to. Boom, there he is, like Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Okay, let me see something here really quick. Just hit that. Boom. Okay, see if that does it.
I love it when Niminati elders show up.
Right?
Yeah. Love it.
Elders.
Yeah.
Like
the Elders Club. Yeah. That's right.
Good.
The OGs.
Okay, click on this, click on this. Okay. So the next question that we have here, yeah, that's not working for some reason. Interesting. So the next question that we have here is from, we did RP Games already. So we have Gardening with Bear Brown. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do educational content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. It says, hey, I heard that once a creator hits 100,000 subscribers, they roughly have 1,000 true fans. Is that true? How can you tell and use that? I just hit 180,000 subs. Thanks. So, it all depends on the content creators. Like some people will make 100,000 or, 1 million subscribers on YouTube Shorts, and people have no idea who they are, or, they can't remember their names. So in terms of, the subscriber count being the thing, I would say, impact is probably more than the subscriber count. And in terms of, trying to figure that whole thing out, try to sell something, right? And then if you try to sell something, then you'll start to get an idea of, of who is into, what it is that you're doing. Just
for some frame of reference here, I have almost,
or have people sign up for something, either one.
I have almost 200,000 subscribers on my channel.
You're getting close.
But that doesn't mean I have 1,000 true fans. What that means is because I make how-to type content, tutorial type content.
Similar to what he does.
Right.
Yeah.
And what that means is people come and they learn that one thing. So I don't have a lot of returning viewers on my channel. I have some, but just compared to new viewers, my new viewers is always more than my returning viewers, because people, when they're trying to learn how to do something, they generally come and just because they want, how do I do this one thing? And then once they learn how to do that one thing, a lot of times you don't see them again. Mm-hmm. So.
Facts.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say.
Facts.
Facts.
Yeah. So for some channels, yes. For some channels, no. Depends on the type of content that you're making.
Yep. So next up on the list, we've got, and by the way, if you are just joining us, we are answering YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing, you can put your question in the link that is at the bottom or top of the chat. If you are watching this from somewhere that's not YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and it will take you to that same exact form. So the next question that we have here is from Beyond High C. Beyond High C, they want channel advice. They upload every other day, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel is how to self-help after a stroke. Interesting. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I tried a different strategy in creating long-form content in an effort to grow faster. I was looking up competitors, watching their current views per hour, and trying to make a video in line with that subject matter in video that was doing well for them. I don't think it worked well for me, or I did it wrong. It felt really inauthentic. I had a subscriber comment stolen on one video of mine. Oh, because you took the idea. Don't know the long-form content direction to head into right now. I want to grow faster. I'm stalled out. I'm going live weekly and uploading shorts throughout the week, but no long-form right now. So let's take a look at what you're doing.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Okay. So let's take a look at your channel here. And just a quick recap here on what it is. So felt really authentic. Okay. So first off, when you are looking at other channels and you're looking at their view per hour, another thing that you want to look at when it comes to, if you're trying to ride off of another channel, is you don't want to necessarily do the same exact topic. You want to come at that topic from a different angle or add something else to that conversation or something like that versus just copying the same topic. Reason for that is that if people have just finished watching a video about that same exact thing, then if they got what they needed out of that video, then they don't have a reason to watch your video, right? So the idea is if you're using that view per hour to see the videos that are bringing viewers to a channel, then it's a great tool, like vidIQ has that, for example. It's a great tool. However, you need to make sure that you're adding something different to the conversation, because just a clone of that video isn't going to necessarily have, as good of an impact. Like, one of the things that does tell you is that this topic is of interest to people, but if you're trying to literally ride off of that video and get suggested next to it and things like that, then you need to bring something that's different instead of it being the same exact topic, right? Because if they're already watching that when you're trying to get suggested from it, then in that case, there's no reason for them to watch yours. So that's step number one. Step number two is you also need to make sure that the channels that you are watching the views per hour, go into your backend and your Creator Studio and make sure that your viewers are watching that channel, to make sure it pops up in there as one of those top channels that your viewers are watching. And the reason for that is because it's possible that you could also be going after a video that's getting a lot of views per hour on another channel, so you're proving that topic. But when you publish your video, you might not even necessarily be getting shown to the same group of people that their content is being shown to, right? So because of that, you want to make sure that you're considering that also if you're trying to ride off of them. Now, if you're trying to offer something, into the world, then in that case, you don't necessarily have to be connected to them, and you're just verifying the topic by the views per hour, and all that's perfectly fine. But you also, like, the views per hour is more valuable on older content than it is on content that was just recently published. And the reason for that is because on the content that's recently published, I mean, it's always all under an experiment when it comes to YouTube and them just testing stuff. But when you have a video that's recently published, YouTube is just testing it all over the place, right? And they're like, hey, maybe this type of person will watch it. Okay, let's see this person type of watch it. Okay, they did, so let's show it to more people like them, right? And they have that intense testing for that first 7 days. And as those things are happening, that view per hour isn't necessarily something that you can count on, because even though their video might be performing well and people might be interested in that topic, like, they're the one that's in that spot right now. So when you're using the views per hour and you're looking at older content, like, let's say it's something somebody published 3 months ago or a year ago, and the views per hour are still high on that video, then that tells you topically that this is something that people are really interested in, because they're able to still, after all that time, be getting regular viewers, into that particular video at a high rate. And then from there, that's where you look at that and you say to yourself, okay, so if, they're responding well to this, what could I make that would either contrast their idea, that would add additional information to it, or that would just position my video in a different way, so that if it does get recommended next to theirs, people will be like, oh, that's interesting. This person said this. Now let me see what this person has to say, about it from this different perspective or this different offering.
Yes,
but the view per hour tools are pretty cool, though.
Some of the thumbnails seem to be a little bit wordy.
On their channel?
Yeah, some of them.
You know what? They did mention to...
Did you pull them back up for a second?
Hold on. Did they say? Hold on. I don't think they were talking about looking at their thumbnails, were they? Hold on. Direction or pressure. I want to grow faster. Okay, they just said they want to grow faster. So yeah, so we'll pull this back up and we'll look at their thumbnails here real quick. Yeah.
Keep in mind, people are looking at your thumbnails, and you're like, they're a split second. Is all the attention that you're getting. So if you have a thumbnail that has too many words in it, they're not going. They're not going to.
It's up if you want to go over the thumbnail.
Yeah, let me enlarge this here. Yeah, some of them 3 steps for speech, stroke aphasia. That's good. Things like New Year resolutions, Black Friday. Yeah, some of these are fine. Just keep in mind that like the word for, the word New Year, exercise, those are really small. When people are looking at a mobile device, that might be hard to read just at a glance. So just keep things big, keep it simple, and the fewer words, the better.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, another thing, since you're trying to reach people with stroke, I would also mention stroke in here somewhere too. Like, because
stroke recovery or
yeah, something like that. Like, maybe like a little tag that you put, at the top of the text. If you're going to be using text as heavily as you are, then in that case, having like a little tag that you put at the top where it says stroke recovery or something like that, so that it's just a little bit more clear to the people that you're trying to reach. Like this one, as an example, right? We have stroke, actually in the thumbnail.
We usually notice
they do that in some cases.
We usually notice the thumbnail before the title. So if this were to show up on somebody's home feed, right? You open up YouTube, and if somebody was interested in your content, if they didn't catch your title,
What happened?
If they didn't catch your title, then they might not notice what's going on in your thumbnail. It says my battery's running low. My computer's plugged in.
Oh, that's great because you're running the stream.
Yeah, but
Love it. Are we plugged in everywhere? Oh, this is gonna be good. I can tell. Okay, so next up on our list here, we have Explore Norway. What's going on? Hope you're doing great. Amy Johnson, hope you're doing great. They upload 1 time per week or more. Been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do tourist advice for Norway. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I just released a short with an average view duration of 46 seconds of 49 seconds and stay swipe ratio of 77 to 23. Everywhere I read that should get a lot of views, but it's only at 3,000 after 30 days. The same short on Instagram got 100K and a flame war in the content. Are the signals in 22% swiped and given the signals not show it? So here's the thing. When it comes to YouTube, there are signals to where, if you reach those signals, it shows that people are responding well to your content. But keep in mind that the topics of your videos are also going to make a difference. The amount of content that YouTube has to show those viewers and how you compete against that content is also going to be a factor here on YouTube. Where, over on Instagram, I'm not sure how, their system works, but you might be competing better over on Instagram than you are here on YouTube for the people that might be interested in that content, right? So it's more about that. And like, for example, like you can put out a video on a topic, and the like the swipe rate might be good, and you might get a decent, like, for example, I'm experimenting with some content on another channel, just some all AI content where I have Agent Opus, which is Opus Clips tool, which they're the sponsor of today's stream, by the way. But with Agent Opus, it creates AI videos. So basically I verbally do the script manually, right? So I record, a nice handful of videos, and then I upload those into Agent Opus. Agent Opus makes the videos. I download all the different videos from Agent Opus on that particular topic with that same voiceover, and then I'll drop them into Premiere, and then I'll make edits to make it, a little bit more interesting, add some sound effects, stuff like that. And on that channel, like I've got a short video. It's like 13 seconds long, and the average view duration on that one is like 170 something % on it. But it's got like hardly any views on it at all, because it's such a short video. It's easy to hold people's attention. Similar with like 46 seconds, stuff like that. Like when you are publishing the content, the topic matters, and who it is that you're competing with in terms of other people that have made similar content that YouTube might want to show people, and how you are comparing against that other content is probably where you're falling short here on YouTube compared to Instagram. But that's a fun thing. Like, I know one of the things, and Dee's a big supporter of this, but one of the hey, I'm making thumbnails with you in it.
Don't
so
speak for me.
So
Yeah.
But like when it comes to like the different social platforms, this is where, as a content creator, if you're like, hey, I'm publishing content and I want response and I'm not getting it on YouTube, keep learning YouTube, but try that content elsewhere too while you're also learning YouTube. Because everybody always ends up back on YouTube. But the idea is that you want to test your content in different places for reasons like this, because their systems work different. People respond to things differently on different platforms and things like that. So because of that, having your content, putting it on the different platforms is definitely a smart move, because you end up in situations like this. Getting 100K on TikTok, hardly getting anything, got 3,000 over here on YouTube, right? So because of that, it's definitely good to, kind of spread yourself out a little bit, because then that removes some doubt from people. because, if you're publishing on YouTube, you're not getting any response there, but then you're publishing on Instagram, you're like, I'm getting like 100,000 views when I publish these, then your content's probably not the problem, right? It could be that, YouTube's system just isn't nailing it because of maybe your titles aren't, clear or whatever the thing is, and YouTube's system isn't nailing who it's for. Or I don't know if the content has anything AI related with it or whatever, but if it does, I know YouTube's being a little bit weird about that, and those types of things. So,
I've seen it go both ways.
Me too. I've seen people do great on YouTube, but nowhere else. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was working with someone a couple years ago. They had a monster TikTok account, and they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, can you help me figure out YouTube?" Like they were just getting crushed. Just every video they uploaded to TikTok was just getting millions of views.
Yeah,
millions of just crushed over there. They couldn't get anything, no traction at all on YouTube. No traction at all on YouTube, and it works. It works both ways.
Yeah, it does. Shark Scrapper says, "Did you do an agent opus using D's likeness yet? Better let him know first. He's sensitive." I did, actually. I got a whole thing going on.
I told him, do not use those because it's going to confuse people.
Yeah,
and it's just not me. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's gonna confuse people that you're a cartoon.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, oh my gosh, D is really Clay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Are you talking about the videos, not the?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. What? You made something else?
Yeah.
And I'm in it?
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah.
And it doesn't look like me?
No. It does. Yeah, it does. Well, parts of it do, because AI is always fun.
Parts of it do. Parts of it does.
Yeah, AI is always fun when it comes to you. So yeah, give me a second here, and I might be able to pull it up. Give me one second.
So here's what happened with the battery. For those of you who are wondering, when I had to very quickly click off, my laptop said, "Oh, your battery's almost dead. You need to plug it in," and it was plugged in. But the power charger that we have, what was plugged into, it just died.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to plug it into a different one, so we're gonna have to replace it. I have this fear, and it's a legit fear because I see people's videos like, "Oh, I burnt my house down from a power charge."
Oh my goodness!
They're plugging stuff into these power adapters, and they catch on fire or whatever. So yeah, it just quit working. So that tells me one of them shorted out, which is a red flag.
Yeah.
Yes, if we're not here next week,
could be that.
Niman Studios has burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah, so I was trying to find this.
Scale train station, yes. Dee's finding out like he's on Maury Povich.
Oh, love it. You know what? I know where it's at. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up right here in a second. Shark Scrapper. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this. Everybody's gonna enjoy this.
Are you playing something?
Yeah,
Should I put on headphones to hear it?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me just make sure I can find it here.
Are you dropping something on me that I haven't seen yet?
I am.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. The file's too large and StreamYard won't let me upload it.
Oh, go StreamYard.
So the size limit for video clips is 200 megabytes. The present bottom of the page lets you share videos of any size and length. But unlike the video clips in this section, those videos aren't saved to your account for the future. Okay, so we still got it.
So size matters.
Yeah, so we still got it. Let me do video file, and we're good here.
Shark Scrapper, send me that power adapter, and I'll scrap it for you. Yes.
Yeah.
I just saw something pop up here. I need to.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if this is gonna stutter or if this is gonna play right or whatever, but this is a thing that we're gonna start playing, and I'm still working on the story part here because Doug Hewson also has a cameo in here. So I'm still working on Doug's story in here, but this is where it's at so far, if it plays.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have somebody in the house that just crossed a major milestone. I want you to put your hands together for him. I got a little something I want to say.
If it's 100, 1,000, 100,000, 1 million, I get the feeling you're elated, cause you've been waiting and counting down all the days and the minutes to hit it, and now you found it. High five and fist bump to you. What you've done is astounding, so be proud of it. Get loud and shout of it. Dance around like you're out of it. Just feel the sounds of this playing, banging, and bounce around at this. In celebration with you, a standing ovation is what you do. You've done something awesome, so I wanna give to you a high five. High five, five, fist bump, high five, high five, fist bump, high five, high five, fist bump, high five, high five. Now everybody's clapping for you, clapping for you,
Ooh, skills.
And look, if you're listening to this, I know that you've also done something awesome. I know you've crossed a milestone. You're right thing. I want you to know that everybody's clapping for you, clapping for you.
Yeah, so that's where it's at right now. So still working on Doug's part of the story, but that's where we're at right now. So the whole thing is going to be more.
Stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I know it is. So the whole thing is going to be
That's just so dumb.
So the thing is basically going to be that we have your play button inside of the the display area there, and then people are coming in to steal it, and then Doug has to capture those guys. That's going to be like a little side story that's happening while we're partying through the song.
That's not interesting at all. I will not be participating in claymation.
Amy says that's the incentive I need to hit 100K. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. I'm not interested.
Yeah. So you'll see the evolution of that, as we go.
I can't wait.
So next up we have Mojo AI. His play button. Yeah, it was found. So Mojo AI, they are the next channel here. They upload when they have time. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do mixed content.
Was that AI slop?
It was AI, but definitely not slop.
Can I call that AI slop? Because I feel like I need to report that to YouTube for being AI slop.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a decent amount of video generations for that to come out. There's some parts I still have to replace, like towards the end there's this part where you're standing there and you're like dancing or something, and and like your skin tones, like all that stuff, like it's just not right. So I have to replace some of those scenes where it just doesn't look as much like you. I mean, it's clay, so it doesn't look like you anyway, but you get the idea. Yeah.
No, I actually don't. I don't get the idea. I don't get that idea at all. What did you use to make that?
That was all Agent Opus from Opus Clip.
They should probably terminate your contract.
Love it.
Who's the contact over there?
Build and Fix with Mooney in the house. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, I feel gross after
Yeah.
that. I almost feel violated in a way.
Yeah, do you? It's good. Love it. So they upload when they have time. The channel here is Mojo AI. They upload when they have time. Been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do mixed content. Goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, I have different niches from creation. Should I have different channels? I have different niches, forms, creations. Should I have different channels? Let me see what you're doing.
They're not making stupid claymations, I can tell you that.
Possibly not, yeah. This is what it's like to have a supportive brother, everybody. Yeah. This right here.
You're never going to make it as a claymator.
As a claymator.
In case you're trying to think of going to work for Nickelodeon or something.
Right.
After this whole YouTube thing fails, and you just fall face first.
That's kind of support that I get from him. Yeah. So
Disney just laid off a bunch of people so you can kiss Disney goodbye.
Right. That was off the list.
Nickelodeon's not going to happen.
Derailed.
So I'm looking at your channel right now, and there's definitely some things that you need to get sorted here on the channel.
I almost feel like you lose the right to tell an AI channel that there's loads of things they need to get sorted after that appalling.
But take a look. So, like right here, for example, right?
Still better than the claymation.
When it comes to this thumbnail, you see how like everything's getting cut off. It's a square instead of it being like a 16:9 aspect ratio video, that kind of stuff. So I would make sure that you're spending the time and the effort.
I need to say something here.
Because what you don't want is you don't want YouTube to look at this because it looks like you are doing AI content here. So what you don't want is you don't want YouTube to look at this and be like, oh yeah, this is super low effort and it could be automated. Because if they do look at that, then that's where you might have problems with some of this stuff. So because of that, I would try to make sure the presentation here is as good as it can possibly be.
For anyone that has used ChatGPT to make their thumbnails, go back, because ChatGPT has ChatGPT 2 for the image creation, and it's significantly better than what they did have, and it will lock in a 16:9 ratio. So if you made ChatGPT thumbnails in the past and you see that it was cutting off your image, which it usually did because it wouldn't get the ratio correct for a YouTube thumbnail, which is 16:9, you can now dictate a 16:9 ratio or multiple ratios. You can choose what it's going to be inside the new ChatGPT, or you can just tell it to adhere to a 16:9 ratio, and it's going to make sure that you get the right ratio so your text doesn't get cut off.
Or save yourself the trouble of all that and just use 1 to 10. Because then you don't have
Or
to
go
think
to
about
one-
aspect ratios, anything like that, because
Right.
it does it every time.
Yeah. Hands down, they have the best thumbnail generator right now.
So next up on the list, and really quick, Kev Go says, since more people can make great thumbnails, the thumb seems to be less of a qualifier to tell if a video is worth watching. Yeah, because they can kind of fake quality for sure. But here's like based on how YouTube works though, they have like filters in place for this. So one of the things that they did back in 2012 is they switched from click being the most important thing to watch time being the most important thing. And then now it's kind of transitioned into like watch time / viewer satisfaction with everything else that they're picking up. But the idea with that is, you know, people were doing some really crazy things in thumbnails just to get people to click. And because of that, they would get tons of views. But the viewers weren't satisfied, meaning they would click on that video and it was legit clickbait. So people would go into the video and then they would bounce, right? And they would like pretty instantly leave the video. So now when somebody enters a video and they bounce like that, if that happens a lot, then YouTube is going to suppress the video anyway. Or not suppress it, it's just not competitive, right? Because everybody that's entering the video is leaving the video almost immediately because they're not getting what they're expecting, and then that makes people leave. So when you are using AI thumbnails, it's important to make sure that you're thinking about that too. Like, does the content that I'm making, and you know, if I represent it in this way with an AI thumbnail, is it going to match the experience that somebody's going to get when they come into my video? If not, then you could also be hurting your retention with that as well. So because of that, you have to be really super mindful about the entire process that a viewer goes through. So it's like if somebody clicks on my video on a home page, then in that case, I need to make sure that whatever I think they might expect to see or hear or whatever when the video first starts, I got to make sure that I'm giving them that. If I put a super high quality AI thumbnail up there, then I should be able to match that when somebody comes into my video too, right? Like if I have a video that I made on a you know, camera from 20 years ago, and the audio's bad and all that stuff, but I have this super high-end thumbnail, then when somebody comes into that, they're going to know that they've been had, so to speak, or clickbaited, and then they're going to leave the video. So it's really important to be mindful of those types of things. I'm glad you mentioned that.
One of the things that I find myself doing is, because YouTube is doing a really good job at recommending smaller channels now, newer channels, right? To giving them a shot. And I'll see this really good-looking thumbnail, and I'll go, oh, that's really interesting, and I click
and
on
you're
it.
like, hey, baby, hey, that's a good-looking thumbnail right there.
That's a really good-looking thumbnail.
And look at that thumbnail. That's a nice-looking thumbnail you got
That is
there.
a glossy.
Look at the thumbnail on that homepage.
Look at that.
Wow, look at
Look
the
at
thumbnail next to that in that suggested column over there. Ooh.
Not
Yeah.
too wordy.
Yep.
Nice and colorful.
Yep.
Nice contrasting, complementary colors.
Yep. Wow, that one really stands out. Look at that. Wow.
I think I want to click it.
Yeah.
So I click on the thumbnail, right? I click on the thumbnail. That was just weird.
It was. Oh, it was.
I click on it, and it's a really good looking thumbnail. Obviously AI generated, but it did a good job. And I click on it, and it's just like the lighting's bad, the audio's bad, the framing is like everything that could possibly be bad in the video is bad. And it's just, and I'm click away.
Yeah.
Like 2 seconds in, gone. You lost them. So yeah, like if you have a really good, clean, super clicky thumbnail, and your video is bad, and your audio is bad, and you're framed in a weird way, and you're stumbling over your words when you get started, people are going to click away.
And your birds' heads are falling off.
The birds' heads are falling off. It's not going to save. A good thumbnail is going to save your video. Nothing's going to save a bad video.
Yes.
Nothing. SEO's not going to save it. A good title's not going to save it. A good thumbnail's not going to save it.
Yes.
You can throw all the money that you want in the world at it, trying to boost it, and it's not going to save it. A bad video is a bad video.
Yes.
But oh boy, I'll click it. I'll click it and I'll look at
Just
it.
click it right away.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See it from across, like, you know, like you're like, oh wow, like I just opened up YouTube like right away. And
Yeah.
I'm already like, wow, I'm moved by that thumbnail.
Yeah. Kev sees it too. I think everybody's seeing that now. YouTube's boosting this. You're like, oh, new channel. This looks great. Because we have this idea in our head that, well, if you can make a good-looking thumbnail, then your video is probably good.
Right.
There's like this quality connection that we've been
Conditioned.
conditioned to. Yeah, you have a good thumbnail, you're gonna have a good-looking video usually. But then you click on it, and you're like, oh man, you got me. You chat GPT'd it, or you nano bananaed, or whatever you did.
Or you nano bananaed.
You nano bananaed, yeah, whatever.
that's
You
great.
one
It's a
intended,
verb.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's great.
Whatever it is. You made a great looking thumbnail, but then you completely dropped the ball with your video. Yeah. Yeah, it's happening quite a bit right now, actually. And then and we've talked about this before, and I have no shade towards India. I actually love India. But Indians are really bad about making, especially now with AI, they're making really good thumbnails out of AI. And everything's in English, and the title's in English, and you click on it, and they're speaking Hindi. And you're just like, oh, guys, what are you doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
Next up on our list, we have, we did Mojo. So next up, we have, and by the way, if you are just joining us, we are talking about everything related to YouTube. So if you're a content creator, you're in the right place. If you're a YouTube content creator, you're in the right place. We have a form. It's free to put your questions in there. It's at the bottom of the chat or top of the chat, depending on the view that you have. If you click on that link, it's going to take you to a form where we just ask for some information on what you're trying to accomplish with the channel, that sort of thing. And then if you put your question in there, we'll get it answered on the stream. We're also giving you feedback on thumbnails, titles, that kind of stuff. So if you want any feedback, now's the time to get it. So next up, we have Imperial Remnant. Dun, dun, dun. They do daily content, Star Wars lore. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, I get growth from the odd breakout video, but I'm having a hard time riding any momentum that I create. I use keyword research, ChatGPT, Claude, my own analytics, and vidIQ to generate ideas and strategies. I check similar channels to see what content lanes are working for them, but after a breakout, views plummet again.
Can I pause you for just one second?
Yeah.
He said all of that, and I'm not saying you don't do this, but the one thing you didn't mention is I make videos based on what I think a Star Wars fan might want to watch. You talked about using all of these tools, but you didn't mention, as a Star Wars fan, I'm making content that Star Wars fans would love.
That would have to watch.
That they would have to watch. Yeah. Maybe
Love
you
it.
are, but you didn't mention that, and I just thought that was interesting.
Says, looking for any advice on blind spots I might be overlooking. If it's a matter of keep trying and learning, I accept that, but sometimes I miss the obvious. So let's pull up the channel here really quick. And D, because D is we're both Star Wars fans, but D is like...
Not as much anymore, though. Like Disney, I'm just not happy with what Disney's doing.
So D.
Pull them up. I can't see anything.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, so they said fair. I mean, look, I can't see your channel. It's not actually showing right now, but just think about it like you're a fan.
Here it is.
You are so much of a fan that you've decided to make a YouTube channel about it. Just think about, man, what do I want as a fan? What type of Star Wars video would I want to watch as a fan? What would I get excited about? What news would make me freak out? And how would I love to see somebody cover that news when
So
something
this is
pops
lore.
up?
Yeah,
Lore.
so this is lore.
Still, what lore do people want to know?
Yeah. Yeah, so for example, right here, this last video, 17 hours ago, the Cantina alien who wasn't there in 1977. What did it replace? What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, quit moving your mouse around. What did it replace? I mean, yeah. For Star Wars lore, I don't know. It's not exciting for me. But I'm not into the lore. So I like Star Wars, but I'm not necessarily into the lore of Star Wars. But that just doesn't. I know we looked at this channel quite a bit. What did it replace? And let me say this. At a glance, like I have to pause and like really kind of study this thumbnail. I really have to figure out so you have the other thumbnails and the characters are very clear, but this particular thumbnail of what's going on in the cantina, like I have to pause for a second and look at it to try to figure out what's going on. It's not very clear. One thing that you could do for the sake of just people identifying that it's a Star Wars cantina is put known figures in there from the cantina. Because if you're scrolling, that imagery is going to catch my mind. Just like you have Darth Maul in here, for example. I know exactly what that is.
Yeah, so a few things. One, I wouldn't even worry about like the text in your thumbnails.
Yeah.
I would just focus more on imagery and the characters, because if you're into this stuff, then the characters, right? Like if you see Darth Maul, right? Like that's him. So because of that, I would be designing these in a way to where like he stands out like crazy. So for example, like you can see here how you have all of this going on here in the background, to where you have all the red back here, and then right here he's also red, but he's the thing that needs to stand out. So because of that, I would change this to something else, like maybe a blue color or something like that, in order to make him stand out, lose the text, maybe even center him, right? Like one of the things that you have at your as an advantage is that if this is about a character, you don't necessarily have to build it with a bunch of different characters in here unless they're not very recognizable. You need to lean on somebody that's recognizable in order to grab a larger amount of people's attention and to help them identify it's about Star Wars. But one of the things that you can do is you can start with like one character, right? So you can be like, okay, Darth Maul, that's going to be my point of focus. This is going to be how I grab a viewer's attention. Drop this into, what do you use to make your thumbnails? You use Photoshop, Canva? Like what are you using?
I was just going to suggest testing. And to piggyback on what he just said, so let's just say you have this Darth Maul thumbnail here. I agree. Like, you might not need this text. Like, I don't care what your text says in the thumbnail. I'm looking for character recognition. And I think if you have anybody who's interested in Star Wars, for example, or, you have a fandom, right? We understand characters more than anything. A single image of a character for me is more powerful than any text that you're going to put on the thumbnail. I would experiment with prompting, trying to create your own images of these characters that nobody's seen before. So it does, it's the character, but it's like, oh, that's a new image. I've never seen Darth Maul in that situation before. I need to click and see what's going on. Or at least I need to read the title to see what's going on in this video.
Yeah.
And then your title can talk about what the video is.
Yeah.
That'd be something that I would test. Like even your Grogu Mandalorian picture in the thumbnail, that image has been like a million times people have used that image. If you were to take that and get a new angle, a new take on that image, put them in a different position to make the viewer go, and it's not a clickbait. You're
it's like,
talking.
hey, this is something new.
Yeah, it's just a different angle, different position, different lighting, instead of just like, oh, that's the same old picture that I've seen thousands of times. Because you're trying to the thumbnail is to stop the scroll, right? Somebody's opening up, they're looking, oh, that looks awesome. I wonder what that is.
Yep. I'm going to see something here really quick. Yeah, it'll be too much right now.
Are you making something new?
Yeah, I was gonna try to like mess with the background and stuff like that, just kind of show them.
They're using Adobe Express.
Okay, so I'm not sure if Adobe Express has the capabilities or not, but I would definitely be doing everything you possibly can to to make the main character stand out more.
Yeah.
So for example, like if you look at this, right, and this is just a really quick, a second spent on this. But if you look at this, if you're trying to bring attention to Darth Maul and then you compare it to this one stands out more, right? And it's just, all it is a color choice, right? And then same exact thing, like if you were to take this, and then if we were to completely remove, actually, you know what, I can just do it up, I'll have to do it in both places, actually. So if I were to completely remove this, give me just a second here and I'll show you.
Yeah. They said, all right, cool. I'm going to get right on that. Thanks again, guys.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got that kind of removed from there. So then we're going to put him back up here. And then we'll do that same exact thing here where I'm just going to remove this really quick.
It's so small on your screen. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here in just a second. But basically, I'm just comparing it to the the one that was there before, and just how to just focus more attention on the thing that viewers are going to care about the most.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not sure. You might get some pushback from AI if you're trying to use AI to help you generate these images because it's intellectual property. So you might have to get clever with your prompting in order to get it to generate. I know it can be done. You just have to think about how to do it. And you might have to go to something like Grok in order to get it done.
Even if we left him over here. But anyway, like the idea is that, let me go here. Let me take off this cast down here. Just go ahead and put this here. So ideally, you'd like center him just to make it like more dramatic and that kind of stuff. But the idea is just trying to make the character stand out, as much as possible, right? So if you look at him, right, you can see how much more he stands out there compared to here, right? So I would still go through and I would take this out back here, minimize it, and then I would center him up, right, so that he's just a big bold photo of him essentially, you know, something like that. And honestly, I'd probably even take him and put him into AI and see if I could get something to make his eyes like look at the camera instead of looking off to the side.
Yeah.
Just so then that way he's kind of breaking that fourth wall. Somebody's sitting there scrolling around. He's looking directly at the viewer.
It's a new image.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
Right.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. You know, using new imagery that fans haven't seen yet, just enough to get their attention. Like, oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that before. That's a new image. That's a cool image.
But yeah, the idea is just to kind of use that to, just to help viewers be able to more easily see it. Even little things like being like, okay, can I brighten him up a little bit? You know, could I add just a little bit more, you know, red to him in order to make him just like really stand out more, you know, that kind of stuff to where you could, you know, if you spent 30 minutes on this thumbnail, like you could make it a completely, you know, a completely different thing that you're offering here. Right. And then there, you know, make it to where you can, you know, turn him to where he's looking at the, you know, his eyes are looking at the camera, that kind of stuff. And then technically you could redo all the stuff in the background too. Maybe even brighten the background up a little bit, but just make sure you're using colors that will make it to where he stands out more. Other fun things you can do too is like in his case specifically. So like if I go here, because they're using Photoshop Express, right? So like you can put, it's not going to translate well here, but you'll just see it happen over here. So you can do something like this where you put that and then you blur it. And bring it down just a little bit. And then just for the sake of this so that we can, sorry, wrong thing.
Yeah, whatever's behind him is kind of getting in the way.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where that bar is. Oh, it's there. Okay.
Yeah, they have Photoshop as well, they said.
Okay. But yeah, even like little things like this, right, to where it just creates a little bit more of a separation there in the background, right? You see that? Here, I can do this to bring that down. And then move this up so it's above that. Yeah, so you can see it more on this side than you can the other, but you get the idea, where you can do this sort of thing and basically build the whole thumbnail around, you know, around like, okay, how can I make this person stand out as much as possible? So that would be the kind of stuff that I'd be experimenting with your thumbnails, because topically, right, like you're making content that, you know, Star Wars fans, would be interested in because you're interested in it, right? You're a Star Wars fan. But in terms of being like, oh, wow, that looks interesting, I need to click on that and see what's going on.
Right.
I would definitely be doing that more in terms of, you know, the color, focusing on the characters, that kind of stuff. Okay, so next up. Yeah, same thing. They said they would have thrown their Adobe Express to remove the background. Yeah, like if I spent a little bit more time on that, yeah, you can definitely make it better. But the idea is just to spend that time, right? Because, those little tiny improvements can make a big deal or make a big difference. So next up, we have 830. What's this? 830 Wrestling Network. 830 Wrestling Network uploads every other day. They have been making videos for a year or more. They have a pro wrestling channel where you get live discussions behind the why and pre-recorded videos talking about other topics in pro wrestling. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And they say, what can I do to improve thumbnails and titles? Also, how are my hooks? I get views, but retention is hit or miss. So when it comes to the video content, we don't watch the video content during the stream just for copyright reasons, but we can give you feedback on the thumbnails, which is the other thing that you had mentioned. So let me go to your videos page here.
You pulling them up?
Yep. Yeah, I think YouTube might have changed something in their DOM here. My other thumbnail tools, they're not
working.
Yeah, they're not showing up down here. So let's see here. So what's the difference? You're focusing on the characters. That's a win. Same thing, focusing on the characters, all of that. Yeah, so you're good there. I wouldn't add the things like, quickie and stuff like that in there. I wouldn't worry about that. I would just make sure that you just stay focused on what you're doing here. I think your thumbnails are okay. Your thumbnails, yeah, are definitely solid for this because you're putting a big, strong focus on the characters and all that. If you did have show logos, right, like for whatever networks it is that you are covering, if you did put those logos in there, that would also be helpful in terms of, just helping people identify, the content. But with the characters, that's enough because people who are interested in those characters, that's probably going to be enough to get them to click. So yeah, in your case, because you mentioned your retention is messed up. So because of that, that's going to be the place that you need to work on. Because I think your thumbnails are okay. What does Tamatanga have that Tonga Lao doesn't? Okay. So other things too, and this is just like a little nuance, but for this type of thing, it can make a difference. So instead of like, what does Tamatanga have that Tonga Lao didn't? It can be more challenging for people in terms of, being triggering to get people to click on something. Instead of just having like a general question like this, make it something to where you are making a clear statement that people can agree with or they can want to challenge you on. So here, what does this person have that this person doesn't? Instead, this person, this is why Tamatanga is better than Tonga Lao, right? And then by doing that, instead of it just being an open kind of question there, to where somebody can say like, well, the reason for that, if they know both of these characters, then they can say, well, the reason for that is because this person is blah, 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 and they don't have to click on the video. But if you change it to, this is why Tamatanga is better than, this person, then right there, for the people that are fans of this person, they're going to be like, oh, this is interesting. I wonder what they're going to say. This person's going to say, oh, no, they're not. And then they're going to click on it because they're going to know what you want to say. And then, people that, are lightweight fans of both, they're also, going to click on this so they can know what it is that you're going to say. So when it comes to your titles, you can also frame things a little bit to make them more triggering for viewers. So I would definitely, try to do something like that as well when it comes to your titles. And then for this, all of this is fine. I'm not sure what it is that you're saying here in the beginning of this, but just make sure that if somebody's coming in for this conversation, that you're meeting them with that and not wasting their time with anything else. I have something in here, and I don't know if it is.
What?
Nope, it's not on this computer. Yeah, I have another thing where I'm pulling transcripts too when I'm looking at stuff.
Oh, and it's not working?
I don't have it installed on this machine. It's on my computer at home. But yeah, so I'm not sure what you're saying here, but just make sure that you're just getting right to the point and letting people know, hey, if you've been a fan of this person, in this video we're going to be talking about, why, this person's better than this person, or whatever the promise is of the video, and then just get into the actual conversation. But in terms of quality and stuff, I think your camera looks okay. I think the environment looks a little bit kind of off because it looks like you're shooting in front of like a sheet or something like that. So if possible, I would put yourself in a real world environment or against a wall of some kind or something like that, just so there's a little bit more depth between you and the wall. And then for the audio, I see that you have a pod mic here, so I'm sure your audio is probably fine. But for the image, it's okay. But I would, consider just what's going on in the background here, and just trying to make that, just a little bit more natural. But this is fine, honestly. Like if somebody's into the conversation, they're not going to care about that. I'm just, my brain is just sensitive to those types of things, so I'm sharing it. Any additional thoughts on the setup there, D?
Yeah, I mean, I would. Oh, you've got some light shooting up. So you have a white, it looks like it's just sheet that you're putting up behind you, and you're putting up some light on it. It looks like on one side you have some red. And I can't tell if there's a blue light or if there's just a smudge on my screen from how it's broadcasting through his computer. But white is really difficult to put light onto, colored light. If you had a gray sheet, like a darker gray sheet, that's going to absorb the light a lot better if you're putting color on it than white does. And if you don't have any other options and you're like, yeah, I need to put something behind me for whatever reason, I would at least try to get a maybe gray. And I would make it look like it's like a flowing piece of fabric instead of like a sheet I'm trying to pull out and make it look tight. So you kind of get that fabrically taut, right? So you kind of get that vibe that it's kind of a flowing, get the biggest you can get, a king size sheet or something. And then if you throw light up on that, it's going to capture that lighting a lot better. And it's going to look more intentional. Right now, I just get the vibe, like he said, it looks like you're just like, hey, I can't show what's behind me. All I have is a sheet. I'm just going to throw this up. And that's fine if that's all you have. That's all you have. It's better that you're making videos with this than not making videos at all. But if you do have the ability to go out and get something else, I think it would look more intentional. But other than that, I mean, everything's fine. You're framed. Your pod mic probably sounds good. You're lit well. Yeah. But we don't watch the actual videos. We don't
There we have it.
We don't know what you're playing.
Yep.
We could hit play and then
We get a copyright strike because the music.
You're playing some tune that we end up getting a copyright strike for.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't click off of that. Just to let you know, like I don't think your background is causing anyone to click away at all.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I'm just kind of nitpicking on how to level up a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blue pod mic cover looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
So next up on our list here, we have, and if you want to be really weird in terms of like, sensitivities, because it's blue and like a lot of the wrestling imagery, it's like red color, at least on their homepage. So getting like a red one might look a little bit more on brand.
Yeah, maybe.
There.
Yeah. Or the red light behind you.
Yeah.
With the blue. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So Stephanie the Seeker is
you like pyrotechnics going off in the background.
Your video start, that's going, way over the top. Yeah, like video starts, you come out on the stage, pyrotechnics going off. Yeah, very expensive videos to make, I think.
Yeah,
that was the move.
About 200,000 per video.
Yep. So next up, we have Stephanie the Seeker. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do advice content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. They say they just want to reach and help people. It's not about revenue. And then the question is, VidOnlyQ only looks within your content for ideas. Hard to break free from what I've already covered. Yeah, so when it comes to those sorts of things, like if you are... So one thing I encourage everybody to do is to not just use AI and tools to come up with your video ideas. So if you are at a place to where you're just like, hey, every video idea, I'm going to go and use, one of these tools, or I'm going to ask AI or something like that, then in that case, all you're doing is, repeating things that people have already done, which is fine. Like that, can be smart, if you have new things to add to the conversation or updated things to add to the conversation. But the idea, or your version of the conversation, again, that's fine. But when it comes to being like, it's looking at my channel, and because of that, it is only giving me ideas based on what's happening on my channel, but I want to break out of that box, then in that case, just be like, okay, well, I'm going to sit down for 30 minutes and I'm just going to brainstorm. I'm going to get out a piece of paper and do it old school. And I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to write down a bunch of different ideas, or in front of my computer, I'm going to type it out. I'm going to write down just a bunch of different ideas that I think my audience might enjoy. And I'm just going to, keep writing. I'm not going to judge any of those ideas. The whole purpose of that little, personal workshop is to just get a bunch of stuff out of your own brain so that you aren't as reliant on tools for video ideas. Because, when it comes to video ideas, if you have like, creator's block, then in that case, it's fine. But, you also want to think, okay, if people are coming to my YouTube channel, then based on my videos and what people have responded to, what would be a good next fit for those people, right? And then you want to think about it through that perspective, not always just using the tools and, things like that, because tools are great. They can be helpful. In some cases they can level you up, but when you become dependent on them and, and you are kind of getting boxed in by them, that's an opportunity to be like, oh, you know what? For these next handful of ideas, I'm going to make some stuff that I think, regardless of what the tools say, I'm going to make some videos that I think my audience would absolutely love. Just make sure you keep them on point, because you got 14,000 subscribers. Your videos get views, so just make sure that you stay on brand and all that stuff. But try to come up with some ideas your own.
No, it is not too late.
What do they say?
This person right here just said, I just sent in a question via the link, probably too late.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No, we're
you're fine.
good.
Yeah, we still got plenty of time on the stream. We don't have tons of questions, so you're good. No worries at all. So next up, we did Stephanie the Seeker. So next up, we have Patergeist. Love it. They upload daily. They do gaming content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, improving my SEO.
That's the question?
That's the question.
How to improve SEO?
That would be a question. Hold on, let me just look and see what it is that you're doing here.
What are they doing?
Yeah, so with your type of content, I don't even think you need to worry about SEO. So, like you're adding, like for example, this video that you did about Pac-Man, like you say you reacted to the Pac-Man Snack Breaks official teaser trailer. It's pretty clear. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about SEO when it comes to that, because you're putting the information in the title that YouTube needs in order to show that to the right people. So yeah, you're fine. You're fine in that regard. From an SEO, perspective, I would, for your type of content, I wouldn't worry about that too much. One thing that I would worry about, though, is understanding who you're making content for and making sure that you continually show up for those people. So, clip up. I will check that. Thank you. So, one of the things here, right? Like if we look at your channel, and this is where the one of my tools that isn't working right now would be handy, but we'll just do it this way. So, if we look at this over here, right? Your first time trying McDonald's strawberry banana smoothie. And then we have this, which is I react to Pac-Man Snack Breaks official teaser trailer. And then here you are fighting somebody in Elden Ring, right? So a couple things that you need to think about here is that when it comes to these 3 videos, you're going to have a certain type of viewer that's going to get into this video, but they're not going to care about these videos. You're going to have a certain type of viewer that will be interested in this type of video, but they're not going to care about these videos, right? You'll have somebody that is interested in this type of video, but they're not going to care about these videos, right? So right now, the thing that you need to focus on more than anything else is not SEO. It is making content that people will want to continually come back for. So for example, if all of these were topically related in some way, let's say, for example, you're talking about one game, Elden Ring, or you're talking about a couple games. We'll do like Mario and you're doing Elden Ring, right? Then in that case, if you publish a video on Mario, here, you have an Elden Ring video here. We'll do it this way. So the people that watch this video, after you publish this video, YouTube, is going to look in your archive for some of these people, and they might, show, other videos in your archive to the people that enjoyed this one. But the problem is, after you publish this video, you publish something that these people are, likely not to get into. Then you do it again. 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 And then here, after a nice handful of videos, and 2 weeks later, you make something that you might have a connection in terms of people, enjoying both of those videos together, right? So what you need to work on, in my experience, what you need to work on more than anything right now is understanding what you're trying to do with the channel, understanding who it is that you're making content for, and then actively getting to work making content for those people. So if you're trying to grow, right, and you want to grow, faster, you can absolutely, like if you're just like, hey man, I'm just uploading these videos and I'm just having fun. I don't care, if I get a lot of views or not. I don't care if people subscribe to the channel. I don't care if people even come back to the channel. I just want to publish this stuff and put it out there to the world. In that case, it's perfectly fine. Throw away everything that I'm saying. But if you're like, I would like to have more people interacting with this content. I would like to have people coming back. I'd like to start growing a community around this channel. Then in that case, what you want to do is you want to think about, okay, how can I make video after video after video after video that the people that I'm trying to reach, or the type of viewer that I'm trying to reach, that they would want to come in and watch every single one of these. That's the goal. That's what it is that you want to try to do. Of course, you can have different buckets to where things kind of, offshoot a little bit and stuff like that. But in terms of the bigger picture, you're always trying to reach a particular type of viewer, and then you're building everything around, around that type of viewer, mixed, of course, with the things that, that you want to make content about. So because of that, I would just be really mindful of that right now, and I would start working on that when it comes to your channel.
Super
Can't go in the kitchen. Thanks for the super chat. Says, if you use an AI-generated thumbnail for a video, but the video itself is not AI-generated, you still need to disclose that AI was used. No. So when it comes to disclosing that AI is used, the thing that you need to worry about there is you need to worry about if your videos look realistic in some way, or they are expressing something that somebody might think, like, holy cow, that happened. Right? That's where you need to make sure that you're making those disclosures. But if you have an AI thumbnail, you're perfectly fine. Unless you have something in that thumbnail that's like, okay, this is, like that is something that clearly looks like it might have happened. Like, for example, if you were making news content, which you're not, if you were making news content and as a part of that news content, you made some horrific scene and then you said like, oh my God, this just happened to Chicago, right? Then in that case, you are completely misleading people. You're lying to people in the content, all of that stuff. And because of that, that's a huge no-no. And even with that, you're still causing some problems there just because it's news-based. So you're still, in extreme hot water there. But when it comes to people clicking on it, like they don't see any disclosures until they actually click into the video itself. And that's where they see the disclosures. So I'm sure YouTube's probably going to have to work on that if they're not already. But when it comes to the, thumbnail getting people to click, you just want to make sure that that you are representing what's going on in the video. And the video does not have to be AI. Yeah, so the main thing with that is that they are just trying to make it to where, people can't mislead other people. Because this is happening at scale on platforms like X, which, D is better at than I am. But when it comes to, or more involved with, I should say, but when it comes to X, for example, like when events happen, anything that happens in the world, people just start flooding it with all of this, like misleading stuff. And they're like, oh my gosh, this happened and this happened and this happened. It all looks real, but it's all fake. And it makes people think that, okay, you have all the real information coming out over here. And then you have all these people that are trying to, just confuse people and, make those types of problems. And because of that, they're flooding it also with all this other nonsense. And then it just makes it where, it makes it hard for people to believe everything. So I think YouTube is just trying to prevent that happening on YouTube. If you are just joining us, we're answering YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, there's a form pinned to the top and bottom of the chat right now, top or bottom of the chat. If you click on that, it will take you to the form that we're answering the questions from. So if you need feedback on your channel, you have a question about what it is you're doing on YouTube, anything like that, go ahead and put it into the form and then we'll get it answered on the stream today. So next up, we've got And Know Your Mama Knows, and Now Your Mama Knows is the name of the channel. They upload every other day. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do variety content. The goal of the channel is to have fun. Love it. It's a good goal. And the question is, since I make content regarding a lot of different content, should I make everything entertainment or make each video the specific genre like people, gaming, how to, etc.? So you're talking about the categories. So there's a bigger problem that I want to talk about. So first, let me answer your question. So categorize it as close as you want, and then YouTube's going to pick it up from there. So we have the categories that we can select, but YouTube has a much larger catalog of categories that they put content into. So because of that, get it as close to, get it as close as you can, and then YouTube's going to take it from there and put it into their categories. But a bigger thing that I do want to bring to your attention is that if you have gaming, vlogging, podcasts, movie reviews, and product reviews all going on to the same channel, you are kind of working against yourself to where you could be really taking things to another level if you focused on one of those things or you focused it all towards a certain type of viewer, right? So for example, like when you're doing a, what was the list here? Yeah, so if you're doing like gaming content and then product reviews, right? Those are two different types of viewers that are interacting with the content unless it's gaming product reviews. When you're doing movie reviews and they're throwing that in there, then if I go in and I watch one of your movie reviews so I can, figure out if I want to go see a movie or not, and then the next thing I see is a product review from you, probably not going to care. If I see a gaming video or a vlog, probably not going to care about that either. So because of that, when YouTube is trying to get me to watch your channel more by showing me more of your content, I'm not going to click on any of it. That's going to tell YouTube I'm not interested, and then YouTube is going to stop showing me your content. So you end up working against yourself when you're trying to do all of these different things on the channel. So because of that, I would pick the thing that you are the most passionate about and make your channel about that. But that wasn't your question, but I just wanted to share that with you because I would be doing you a disservice if I saw that and I didn't mention something. Let's see here. Next up. So we have Cooking with Iones. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And the question, or they upload when they have time. They have been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do Greek food content. The goal is to have fun. And they say that they haven't posted in a year. They're coming back now. And they say that I'm restarting the channel with shorts showing me with a dish, linking to the full recipe on an existing video. Is this a good way to get things going again? So the way to get things going again is to publish content on a regular basis that your target viewers are likely to enjoy. So one thing I would do in your case specifically, because you are making recipe videos or cooking videos, is I would go to all of the, cooking channels that are similar to yours in some way, or similar to yours in the, way that you're wanting to do it. And I would see all the videos that have performed well there, see if there's anything that's still performing well, and then start making content around that. But I'm looking at your content right now. Looks like your thumbnails look fantastic, right? In terms of, you're focusing on the food, all of that stuff, all that looks great. So I think that your coming back should just be like making good content, for people, and then you'll be okay from there. But one thing I just noticed though, is right now it looks like I have a 16:9 aspect ratio thumbnail, which as a viewer makes me think that I'm going to get a regular video when I click on this, but instead you're sending me into a vertical video here. So as a user, if I were to click on that, and I know YouTube's doing some weird things with their player right now where they're adjusting like sizes of stuff and things like that. So they might end up compensating for this in the future. I don't know. But like this right here, I would have clicked out of this already. Because I would click on this expecting a wide video, and then I would come into here and I would think that I would just wasn't getting what I was expecting, right? And I would just bounce right out of this. So if you are uploading long form content, make sure that you do upload it at a 16:9 aspect ratio there instead of these vertical things that you are that you're doing. If you're going to do vertical, then do shorts with it. Next we have Faithful GLP-1 Journey. They upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do lifestyle content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, are my playlists made in a way to encourage watch hours? Interesting question. Let's take a look. I think this is the first time we've had a playlist-specific question here, so I love this. Yeah, we've actually been talking about playlists a lot. I just did a training inside of TuberSchool, which is our course for YouTubers, our school for YouTubers, and inside of there, we actually just did a whole thing on playlists. Well, let's see what you got going on here. And again, let me take this down really quick so I can see the topic or the question again specifically. Are my playlists made in a way to encourage watch hours? So when it comes to watch hours, like this one here, I'm not sure why you have live stream games as a playlist in here. So just as a heads up, inside of your playlist settings, you can make playlists public or private. So I'd make this one private because you don't want viewers getting lost in this stuff here. Same thing over here. Well, no, you might keep this one. So a couple of things. First, when it comes to your playlists, if all of these are about the GLP-1, then in that case, I would make sure that you have that in there, like reflections on GLP-1 or, whatever problem the GLP-1, solves. Make it more descriptive in your playlist titles here. That's step number one. If we go into... Let's just see the videos that you're doing here so I can just kind of see what's going on. It's healthy, a real personal reflection, GLP journey,
ChatGPT,
Bride accessibility program in Dollywood, Pigeon Forge. Yeah, so I'm having another problem here, and that problem is that you have this about Dollywood. Yeah, I'm not sure how this relates to the content. I mean, I guess it's about accessibility. Yeah, I'm not sure. People, and they clicked on it, so that's good. And you did a vertical video too, which again, just like I said on the last channel, I wouldn't do the vertical thing. But if we go to the end, let's see if you have a playlist here, and then we can go into the watch time conversation. So here I'm at 4 minutes and 8 seconds out of a 4 minute and 9 second video, and you don't have end screens on your video. So if people are making it to the end of this video, you want to have end screens pop up here so people can actually click into the playlist that you're making. So right now your playlists are not done in a way. I mean, the playlists themselves might be, but you're not giving access to those playlists. So you want to make sure you're giving access to those playlists in every video that you publish. And then in addition to that, let's go back into the playlist themselves, and we will just click into like walk around the block. And this is another one, right? To where walk around the block from a title perspective, this doesn't help me as a viewer know what's going on here. So you know that this is about your walks around the block, I'm guessing, but as a viewer, I don't know what you're offering here. So because of that, I would be extra clear on all of these things, because if you're not, then it's going to cost you views and watch time and all that stuff, because you're making this more around things that you're familiar with instead of trying to make it familiar for the viewers, right? So because of that, I would redo all of your titles for all of these and make it something about the conversation maybe that you had or something like that, but basically frame the titles and the thumbnails around what the viewer cares about, so that when they do come into your playlist and they see other options here, that they can click into the different conversations versus clicking into another video about a walk that you're having around the block, right? When it comes to YouTube, everything, even from YouTube's perspective, everything is about the viewer. And since everything is about the viewer, you want to make sure that you're also making, what it is that you're doing about the viewer as well. Next.
Angels Fit 365 says,
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend.
I'm guessing they
right
want
now.
claymation.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Monstrosity.
Glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah.
That you listen. I've been dancing since
For your break dancing? Since Electric Boogaloo?
No, that's part 2.
I know.
Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. The original Breaking.
Oh, you're break dancing since Breaking.
I was dancing since Michael Jackson's Thriller video came onto the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, for those of you who were around back then,
Do I need to put you in a Michael Jackson jacket?
There was nothing bigger than Michael Jackson in that era.
When I update that video, I got to put you in a Thriller jacket.
When the Thriller video came out, it was just like everybody was dancing, trying to do the Michael Jackson dance. 1983.
Was it really 1983?
Then 1984, Breakin' came out in Beat Street, and it was just a game changer. Yeah.
I remember thinking like, wow, that's so cool. Like as a kid, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back, it's like, it's kind of a little bit weird, actually.
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and now your mom is the super chat here. So thank you for that. Super chat. And they say, thank you for answering my categories question. My issue is I love to make so much different types of content, which is why I just do YouTube for fun. Yeah. So when it comes to those situations, because, everybody just as a human being, we have, all of our different interests and all that, like we're all that way. But when it comes to YouTube, doing it for fun is perfectly fine. But when it comes to YouTube, one of the things to think about is like, okay, if I'm trying to grow a channel, then let me have one channel where I just publish all this random stuff that I am interested in, that I just want to, make videos for the internet. And then let me have this one channel that I publish the content that I am the most passionate about, like the thing that I like to do the most. I make videos on that channel for that. And then that way it gives you the opportunity to connect with other people who are into the same stuff that you are. So then that way, instead of having everything scattered, then you start making it to where you at least have one thing to where you can start growing a real community around, the things that you're interested in. Like that's the advantage of doing that. It's not just getting views and, stuff like that. It's like, when you have one channel that's dedicated to something, then it collects over time viewers who are also interested in that thing. And it gives you the opportunity to collect with them.
You become a destination.
Yeah.
Your channel becomes a destination for an interest.
Yep. Faux show.
Brat 6 says, love Thriller. Have you seen the Michael Jackson movie?
Nope, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, just terrible reviews. I don't know if I want to sit through that or not.
Yeah, I saw the other one. So I saw the one that that came out a long time ago, and like that was okay, but like I know the story, so I don't care, right? kind of like Spider-Man. Like I still go see Spider-Mans because of the different scenarios, but like what's going you know pretty much the whole entire thing. Right. Like, Uncle Ben went through this and then he got this and then, you know, he said this and then this and he struggled with this. And you're like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen here. I know the whole origin story already. Like there's no real reason to watch this.
Playing it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of the same.
But Michael Jackson, though.
Still.
The glove. The white glove.
Yeah, that was cool.
There was nothing cooler in that era.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's kind of weird now looking back.
It is. It's very weird.
But at the time...
Shows you how smart people were with like merchandising and stuff and branding just in general.
Right.
They were next level. The jacket, the glove. Yeah. Next level. Yeah, the
pants,
moonwalk.
all of it.
All of it. Yeah. So smart.
Yeah.
David Matney says Thriller is lame compared to Nick's Coffee song. Hey, man, that's what I'm talking about right there. I agree. So next up on the list, we got Sonic Cinema. They upload every other day. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do 3D animation of Sonic the Hedgehog. The goal is to be a full-time content creator. And the question is, with VO 3.1, I can create stunning 4K cinematic scenes, but I notice the algorithm sometimes favors raw or lo-fi content. Okay, I'm going to back up. I'm just going to stop this right here.
Yep.
So
you know what you need? You need a break sound effect.
I do.
Yeah.
It's good. So basically when, instead of saying the algorithm favors, start saying viewers favor, right? Because like YouTube's system, think of it like like it's just response based. So, I mean, it's more nuanced than that, obviously, but think of it like it's just a response based system. So if their system...
It's a response and predictive.
Yeah, and predictive. Yeah. So if YouTube has people interacting with your content, then in that case, they are logging how people respond or don't respond to your content. So if they show your video on a homepage and people don't click on it, then that's like a point against that video. If they click on it, that's a point for the video. And then as those things start happening at scale, over 100 impressions, over 1,000 impressions, 100,000 impressions, and so on, YouTube is collecting all of that. And it's like, hey, people are or they are not enjoying this content. And if they are not enjoying the content, meaning they're not clicking on it, or once they do, they're not watching it for a competitive amount of time compared to the other content that they're showing those people, then in that case, your content, isn't gonna compete. However, if you have people clicking at a competitive rate, they're enjoying the content at a competitive rate, then in that case, then your videos are going to do okay. So like it's common in places like Discord, Reddit, Facebook groups, those sorts of things for people to blame YouTube's system when their content doesn't do well. Yeah. So what I encourage you to do is think more about all I'm doing is I'm trying to make videos that a certain type of person will enjoy and get value from, okay? Even if that's VO videos that you're making, I'm trying to make content with these cinematic scenes that I'm doing that are stunning and all that stuff that people will enjoy. So keep in mind, just because it looks great doesn't mean the story's good. Just because it looks great doesn't mean it's framed in an interesting way. Just because it looks great doesn't mean necessarily that when people click into it that they're going to follow it or that they're going to think in the same way that you do in terms of, how it looks or that experience that they're having. So that's where YouTube's algorithm comes into play, is they take your thing that you make and then they test it against people, and then based on how people respond to it, then that's going to determine if your videos live or die. And if they live, then it's going to determine how long they live for. So because of that, instead of looking at it like the algorithm favors, look at it as viewers favor, not their system. And you say, how do I stop viewers treating my cinematic videos like background wallpaper and turn them into active, high retention fans? You got to have a good story. So if you're doing VO videos and you're building stories, then make sure you're building good stories. And that's something that, you're probably going to have to take some time learning. But here you have, oh my God, you got your channel, Sonic the Hedgehog? How in the world did you get that handle? No way.
What?
Oh, no. That's the official channel. Okay. Oh. I was like, boy, you're in for some trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that one's going to come back and get you. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm looking at your channel right now. And, the stuff that you're making definitely looks interesting. But again, you got to think about the viewers and what the viewers are experiencing. So one thing that YouTube gives us that you should be tapping into right now is the back end of every YouTube channel has it to where if you publish a video, after a couple days, you're going to see a audience retention report. That audience retention report tells you how people are responding to your video. So if you go into that, then you're going to see like people are probably leaving your videos pretty quickly. And if that's the case, then that means that you need to start working on, what happens at the beginning of the video and then rinse and repeat that for every additional segment of the video. So, so those are the things that you need to work on right now.
Yeah. And I just want to push back a little bit because you said that, YouTube tends to favor more lo-fi aesthetic type things. That's not how it works at all. Here to explain the audience thing, but it's similar to saying that people only like a certain type of music. People only like lo-fi music.
Nope. People only like pizza.
People only like pizza, yeah.
Right.
Well, because since they use the lo-fi aesthetic, let's just use for lo-fi music, right? Yeah. So people only like lo-fi music, and that's the only kind of music that really gets pushed on YouTube. That's not true at all. But people who are interested in lo-fi see lo-fi music. Mm-hmm. People are interested in cinematic music or Hans Zimmer or jazz. That's generally what they see because they have a history of generally watching or listening to that type of music. So the type of content that you're making, if there's an interest for it, which there probably is, it might take. How long have they been uploading?
I closed it already. I'm not sure.
It might take you a while, and it might take you a lot of tweaking to get in front of the right people, but they're out there. If there are people out there that are interested in Sonic the Hedgehog. So whatever stories or situations you're putting them in, it just might take you a while to connect with those people. And it could come from your packaging. You can have the best stories in the world, the best cinematic AI creations that anyone has ever seen, but if the idea is not there, if it's not packaged in a way to where the average Sonic the Hedgehog fan can quickly find it, then it's not doing you a lot of good. Mm-hmm. And I'm not looking at your channel. You might have that. He's the only one who looked at your channel. I'm just generally speaking about this.
Generalizing.
I'm generalizing.
Mm-hmm. So next up on our list here, for a second I thought they had the Sonic the Hedgehog handle too.
Wild.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh,
yeah, they're coming for you.
That's like a jackpot, but like a trademark violation at the same time.
Yeah.
So next up on our list here, we have music and much more. They've been making videos for a year or more. They upload one time per week or more. They do music, guitar, instrumentals, and covers. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, what was the feeling when you got past 10,000 views for the first time back in the day in 2006? So I wasn't making videos in 2006. I didn't start until 2014. So 10,000 subscribers, I don't remember that feeling. Subscribers. Don't remember that feeling, but I do remember when I had a video cross 10,000 views, I got a notification from YouTube, and I was in a taxi in China. I was in a taxi in China.
The best Chinese
It was the best taxi, yeah. But I was in a taxi in China.
Chinese, and
I got the notification, and I was making a video also for the All Our Questions channel.
We were in Shenzhen, China, to be specific.
Yep. And I turned on the GoPro, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had 10,000 views on this video. And I made like a little video about getting that 10,000 views on that video. So I do remember that moment. I also remember a few moments here and there. I remember crossing 3,000 subscribers, I think it was, while I was eating Indian food over that place that was over by Zoe back in the day.
Multicultural.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah, being in China over here eating Indian food,
your little multicultural milestones.
Yep. But that one, it was that dumpy Indian place that was next to Zoe.
Yeah.
So that place, great. Dirty. It was dirty, but man, that food was awesome. Like their potato burrito. Oh God, it was so good. But yeah, like I was eating there when I crossed 3,000.
That restaurant was so dirty. I'm surprised somebody didn't put it on video.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Because you've probably all seen those Indian like back alley food places where the dude's like sitting in the doorway just making slop.
Yeah, it was kind of like that. Yeah.
His foot's hanging in the soup or whatever. Just kind of
washing clothes and whatever water they're giving everybody. Yeah, it was kind of like that, but it was delicious though. Yeah, it was absolutely delicious.
But that was a big deal. Hitting 10,000 views on that video was such a big deal. You made a video about it.
Yep.
And it is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is a big deal.
Yeah. So in terms of, oh no, they said 10,000 views. when you got past 10,000 views for the first time back in the day. Yeah, there you go.
You don't listen to me.
Yep. Yeah. So so I do remember that the first time that it happened. Anyway. But yeah, it was cool. It's cool. Like any of those milestones, like there's, like anytime you have, it probably felt the same as if you were to get like a few like 1 out of 10s in a row. Probably felt like that, to where like you publish, you get a few 1 out of 10s, you're like, all right, yeah, I'm like on fire here right now. It kind of feels like that. So next up, we've got Comic Quest Hobbies, Cosmic.
I don't remember mine.
You don't?
No. I don't. I have no recollection of hitting milestones in videos. I'm sure I was excited. I just don't remember it.
Here's another thing for the cultural thing.
To be
Ready?
fair, I don't remember much in general.
So here's another one for you on the cultural thing is I was in Armenia when I hit 200,000. Yep. So on my 200,000 subscriber thing, I was in Armenia and they made me like a cake and they brought in balloons. It was like, it was really cute. I got pictures of it. Yeah, really cute.
Yeah.
But Cosmic Quest Hobbies is the next channel here. They upload when they have time, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They scratch-built spaceships and dioramas with background story themes.
That's cool.
And the question is, I'm thinking about going to VidSummit or trying a course like your TuberSchool. If I only had the money for one, which would you recommend first?
Where are they at on the journey?
Yeah, this is going to be dependent on where you're at on your journey, like Dee was saying. So, like, if you are... Here, I'll actually just look at your channel.
Oh, let's have a peek. You know what I do remember while you're pulling them up? I do remember my 5,000 subscriber milestone because as soon as they said VidSummit, it hit a memory. It
yeah,
clicked.
because Andrew Can made you a thing.
Andrew Can was working for TubeBuddy at the time, and we
Here, I'll keep talking. I'll grab it. It's
yeah,
right here.
we flew to Los Angeles to go to VidSummit. I just hit 5,000 subscribers. We landed at the airport, LAX. You have it?
Right here.
Let me see it.
5,000 for you, 200
Yeah.
for me.
So we get off the airport, and Andrew Can from TubeBuddy he's standing outside right as we walk out of security, and he's holding these little plaques that they printed out for us from TubeBuddy, which was like the coolest thing. Instead of somebody there holding our name that says, Niman, Andrew Can is there on behalf of TubeBuddy holding these little plaques for 5,000 subscribers, which is mine, and 200,000 for him at the time. So that was really cool. So that's memorable for me. That's the main milestone that I remember from back then. Shark Scrapper says, Andrew was such an awesome dude. Yeah, he really is. Roberto Blake in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Roberto says, I missed most of them, but I recorded them. Most of them are unlisted now, are members only content. But yeah, I don't remember the earliest ones, but I logged most of them after 10K. Roberto, I'm about halfway through the interview you did with Sean Cannell at, I think it was Social Media Marketing World. About halfway through that. Fantastic interview, by the way. Yeah, Andrew's great. But that was really cool, though. Like, even this, 5,000 subscribers, at that, I mean, that is huge, right? I think if you can get 5,000 subscribers, that's amazing. But at that time, that was a really big deal for me, especially somebody acknowledging that. And somebody from, like, at the time, like, from TubeBuddy, right? I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really big deal.
Yeah, that was before TubeBuddy went down the toilet.
Yeah. We need okay, so we need a brakes. We need a sound of brakes, and we need a toilet flush sound.
Oh, that's great. Anytime that's brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah, play the toilet sound, and then people who know will know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Roberto's here. If you want to hit
Roberto Blake in the house. What's up, my man? Hope you're doing great. The
Yeah.
Sith Lord of YouTube in the house.
Yeah, I want to say that. So talking about the interviews is Sean Sebastian. That interview is some of my best content. Yeah, man. The reason I brought that up is that, like I said, I'm about halfway through it, and it's outstanding. It's truly, and I'm not just blowing smoke. It is an outstanding interview. Yeah,
It got recommended, but I haven't watched it yet.
it's really good. Yeah, it's really good, and it's relevant to everything that's going on. There's a part in there about AI and how to use AI, and yeah, it's really good, man.
Nice.
Yeah. There it is. You need a train wreck sound effect.
I love it.
Yeah, so we need like
That's good.
brakes, toilet flush, car crashes.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I do. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So, There's one more thing that I was going to mention here. Yeah, I lost my
Hold
train
on.
of thought.
Got a super
Okay.
chat.
Super chat.
Okay.
They say, D, why PTSD about Mexico? I don't have PTSD about Mexico, but I got stuck there for 2 years when the world shut down. Thailand closed its borders and I couldn't get... We were in a very unique situation. Thailand closed the borders completely. And then I couldn't get my girlfriend into the U.S. because the U.S. was limiting who they could come in. So they wouldn't let her into the U.S. So we were literally stuck in Mexico. And another cool person, Phil, speaking of TubeBuddy, Phil, one of the founders of TubeBuddy, because I was stuck in Mexico, and at the time we were in Ensenada, which is close to the border. And I was like, Phil, listen, man, can I have a bunch of stuff shipped to you? I think I'm going to be here for a while. Because we just went down there traveling.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, I think I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to, ordered a computer and a bunch of stuff and whatever, and I can't get it down here. Can I ship it to your house? Can you meet me at the border? And I literally, because I could cross the border, my girlfriend couldn't. So I crossed the border into the U.S., met with Phil, opened up his trunk, and had like it was like
Christmas.
It was like Christmas, full of like gear. It was like all this lighting and all this stuff and everything that I was going to need, because I knew I was going to be down there for a while. Yeah, and Phil just came through and delivered it like Santa Claus at the time.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I know when I go back across the Mexican border, like, 'cause I'm on foot, I was like, they're going to just tax me on this stuff. So I'm like taking everything out of the boxes and trying to put it in like backpacks and come through, go across the border. They didn't even have anybody checking passports.
Oh my god!
Let alone not taxing people.
Oh,
it
that's
was
great.
it was just an open board. I mean, normally they do, but there was nobody there at that particular time.
Interesting.
Just like open. Yeah, it was wild.
That is wild.
Yeah, go Phil. Go
Right.
Andrew Can.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, so on Cosmic Quest Hobbies, so right now it looks like you're having trouble just with your upload schedule. So because of that, I think either one is going to be a good fit for you, because I think right now you need some like inspiration and motivation in terms of the channel. So because of that, I think either one will be a win for you. Also, when it comes to this, like I think your thumbnails are okay. So you will probably need to work on strategy a little bit. But even with that, with what it is that you're making, like you don't have a lot of videos right now. So yeah, I mean, it's really a toss up. Either one you're going to get good value out of. The difference is like one is for, like 3 days. The other one is for a year. So, with that in mind, the call is ultimately, yours. But I think either one, because what you need right now is you need motivation, you need some strategy, work a little bit as well. I think your thumbnails are fine. But in terms of, the actual, video content and how people are responding to some of this, yeah, I think a little bit of strategy work there. Probably some retention, related things as well. So yeah. Next up, hey, appreciate that, Doug. Let's see here.
Retired life in Mexico. Glad to hear you're not having PTSD. No, we actually love Mexico. Absolutely love Mexico.
So Becky Forbes, thanks for the super chat, says, can you explain what constitutes long-form content? Yes. So long-form content is regular 16:9 aspect ratio videos and live streams and podcasts. Those are also long-form content. So basically anything that doesn't go into the short shelf is long-form content. So shorts, you can upload videos up to 3 minutes long, but when people are referencing long-form content, the thing that they're actually talking about is videos that are not YouTube shorts. So even shorter videos, like for example, I watch a guy, his name is Ryan George, and he does like short comedy skits. Sometimes they're like 8 minutes long. Sometimes they're, 3 minutes long, sometimes a minute and a half, but they're, comedy skits, and because they're 16:9 aspect ratio, he uploads them, puts a thumbnail on them, does the whole thing. Those are also still long form content, even though he has, even though they're a shorter amount of time. And then let's see here. We did this one. Okay, yeah, I think we're cleared up now, Doug. I think so.
That's all the questions?
Yeah, because you did the PTSD one. Yes, I think we're good.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah. I tell you what did give me PTSD is trying to fly during that period of time.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get back into Thailand. That was crazy.
I know I had to fly to Bangkok for my visa, and that was stressful. So I can't imagine like an international flight. Like I was just going like an hour and a half and then getting off the plane, going through the processes there. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was more paranoia because they weren't, like it was still pretty free here during that time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that bad, but it was just the paranoia. So I can't imagine, at that time being, for like an 18-hour, or really like a 20-something hour complete journey.
Yeah.
With all of that paranoia going on too. Yeah. Like I bet that was.
They made us like quarantine when we came back into Thailand and like made us stay in they had these quarantine hotels. Yeah. Wow. Crazy times.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So next up on our list.
The good old days.
Good old days. We have Seth on duty. Seth on duty. They do daily content. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do gaming content. The goal of the channel is to connect with others who like what they like. And the question is, what does mixing shorts into a weekly schedule do to a channel, good and bad? So in terms of bad, the only bad thing that it really does is it gives you more work to do, which is fine, if you want to publish shorts, and that's just part of the thing. And in terms of the good, it gives you the opportunity to connect with people over there that might not be watching long form content. So you say here that you're trying to, grow the channel, and I'm just going to see what it is that you're offering here. Okay, so it looks like you're doing some like gaming content. Yeah, so when it comes to gaming content in YouTube Shorts, because the content is, like you have these moments in games. So as long as you're playing the game, then you can get a lot of moments that you can put into shorts relatively easy. So because of that, it gives you the opportunity to just, add a bunch of content over there. But to more importantly, be able to reach people that are interested in your content in the place that they're hanging out, because they're absolutely going to be hanging out watching long form content as well, like regular 16:9 aspect ratio content. But sometimes people don't have 30 minutes like your videos here. You got 37 minutes, 29 minutes, 27 minutes, 42 minutes. And because of that, these are great for people that do want to watch the whole thing. But when you have YouTube Shorts, you're going to capture people that are having a completely different experience on YouTube, to where they're sitting there going through, videos quickly, instead of dedicating to a 20-something or 30-something or 40-something minute video. So it just gives you the opportunity to catch people that are interested in those games that you're playing in the different ways or the different experiences that YouTube has built for them. So that would be the biggest advantage when it comes to adding shorts to what it is that you're doing.
Questions, go to nickniman.com/ask, or click on the link that's down in the description. It would help if I unmuted my mic.
It would.
Yep.
It would.
I'll say that again. If you have questions, nickniman.com/ask, or head down to the description and click on the link down there.
Hey, one more thing I want to mention really quick, and I don't know if Dee mentioned this when I stepped away for a minute or not, but because Roberto Blake is here. So once this stream is finished, also, just a heads up, Roberto's going to be streaming over on the Opus Clip channel, and this will automatically just send you over there, when this stream is finished. However, if you are a gamer, that particular stream is going to be of interest to you, and your question, Seth, on duty is what made me just think about this, because his stream over there is about using shorts for gaming. Oh, so okay. Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the conversation there, like that's pretty much head on. So if you are a gamer and you're trying to figure out, the smart ways to use shorts with your gaming content, then make sure that you do check out that stream over on the Opus Clip YouTube channel that Roberto's going to be doing here in about 2 hours, an hour and 40 minutes. So next up, we've got Tactical Mindscapes. What do you think that's about, Dee?
Tactical Mindscapes. It's either going to be a prepping channel, tactical survival, or it's going to be self-help, self-improvement.
Okay. So let's see what you got going on here.
Yep. Better not be a gaming channel.
So they upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do management leadership education.
Nailed that one.
So that's about as like the wrong direction you can possibly go.
I mean, just home run.
Yeah, love it.
One for the record books right there. Home run.
So the goal of the channel is to teach others, and they want feedback on their thumbnails. So let's see what you got going on. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is AI. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Or are they doing games? Yeah, not really sure. Okay. So let's take a look at your thumbnails.
What are we looking at?
Okay, they are a gaming analysis channel about strategy and leadership management theory and decision making. So they use tactical games, strategy games, RPGs, roguelikes, deck builders, and competitive games to explain how people make decisions under pressure. Interesting. So imitation under uncertainty, the iceberg, truth, most business.
Can I want to hop in on this. Go open that back up again.
Yeah, go ahead. Open what?
They're about me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm reading through this, just a normal person here. Tactical Mindscape.
I don't know about that. Let's not get too carried away.
Analysis channel about strategy, leadership, management theory, and decision making. Okay. And go down again. Get rid of your thing here for a second. It's not wide enough. Explain how people make decisions under pressure. So just as I'm reading all of this, the core of this, as someone who is not familiar with your channel, is that you help me make decisions under pressure. I would think about kind of reframing how you're putting that together so that at an instant, I know that this channel is to help me make better decisions under pressure.
Yeah.
Just at a glance. That's kind of my first impressions here of trying to figure out what's going on with your channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a couple things to think about here is right here you have imitation under uncertainty. And then you have this over here that looks like gaming, and it is because it's gaming. And then here you're focused on these different games. So to me, from the outside, this definitely looks more like a gaming channel than it does any type of like educational, type of thing.
Right.
And I think it's just because you're focusing on the wrong stuff. So
yeah.
In the titles, your titles make tons of sense. But here, give me a second. Let me take this down. And I'm just curious here. If we go over to, I'm just curious to see like what AI is going to make out of these titles. KPI trap when metrics start managing you. Okay. So let me go to the thumbnail generator.
Are you making new thumbnails?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not looking at your channel now. He's the one that's controlling that.
Yep.
But just at a glance, right? There's a lot of words for just telling me that you're going to help me make better decisions under pressure.
Metrics start managing you.
I would lead with that.
When metrics start managing you.
1 to 10?
Yep. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going into 1 of 10, and I'm just putting this title in here, and I'm going to put no text because I'm just curious to see the imagery that it picks when we are using just this. Unfortunately, because this is sent to my channel right now, so it's probably going to put me in the thumbnails. Yeah. So because of that, you know what? I can actually just grab this, and let's see if we can have it just do it on their channel. And I'm not sure what it's going to pull because it's gaming. That might actually distort it because it is gaming content.
Yeah,
so we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to run it and see what it comes up with. And the reason I'm doing this is because, like, if we look at this while that's running in the background, if we look at this, like, this seems like you're going to be trying to bring it, like, it looks like you're trying to bring gamers in instead of people that are trying to learn how to manage their teams better.
Yes.
And because of that, I think that it's working against you to an extent.
I agree.
So because of that, I would focus more on things that you can do for leadership imagery instead of, it's focusing on me here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even putting YouTube logos in there because it's pulling it from my channel. So so that didn't work. Oh, I like this though. I like that. I'm going to keep keeping that one for later. But yeah, so when it comes to this, I would definitely be working more on like the imagery related to that. So I think this, even though it's like basic and it's a statue, I think this would speak to the people that you're trying to reach more than this right here. But the balance that you're going to have to walk, and this might be why you're putting the gaming imagery in your thumbnails too, but the balance that you're going to have to walk is, if I'm trying to reach people that care about management, then they click on it, but then I have like game imagery that I'm doing, game videos that I'm doing a voiceover for, then in that case, you might have a lot of people backing out, right? Whereas, if you try to find a way to kind of blend the two in some way, which is kind of what it looks like you're doing with that particular thumbnail. So yeah, man, that's really tough in terms of a way to to do that in an effective way.
So they just said leadership imagery has been hard for me to conceptualize. My angles I explained through gaming, which sets me apart. You articulated my balance challenge perfectly. Yeah. I would approach it like this, or at least something to test. Instead of thinking about what makes sense to you, think about what language and what imagery are the people I'm making my videos for likely to react to. And if you are trying to target business professionals, they're less in my opinion, they're probably less likely to respond to gaming imagery, right? You could bring that up in your videos, you know, as in using analogies and strategies, et cetera. But in terms of just getting their attention, I would use business imagery.
Yeah,
people in suits and
other things too is like you know, you can make connections. Like for example, you know, like what Tetris teaches us about you know, about managing our teams under pressure, right? So then that way it just makes everything a little bit more clear.
Yeah.
Because here you have like avoid building your organization like this, structural opaqueness destroys, blah blah. So just making those clear connections if you are going to be using the game imagery to where, you know, like this is what Call of Duty or this is how playing Call of Duty will help you be a better leader, or, you know, something along those lines, to where you're also mixing the actual game into your title a little bit too, but you're making it clear that it's about how this game is going to help them improve that skill, right? Because obviously
this is a tough one.
Yeah, because obviously like your audience is going to be somebody probably, you know, younger person. I mean, not like a kid, but like a younger management, you know, professional.
Grew up gaming.
And that grew up gaming, all of that stuff. So they're going to relate to a lot of these things. So I think that, you know, trying to make those connections just more clear. And also, you know, like like if you played these games, you're likely to be a better manager, and, you know, like those types of things, to where you are just trying to marry the concept to the games themselves, right? So then you're just making that tighter bridge. Would definitely be something that I would try there.
You're in a situation where you're going to have to test a lot of different things. You're going to have to test a lot of different.
Yeah, people responded to this one here.
Different framing, different types of language, different imagery. Test until you can start identifying things that consistently work. Because you're in a tough. I like the idea of it, but to articulate what you're doing properly to the audience you're trying to reach is
okay. So they did one of those here. So it says how Helldivers 2
pull them back up.
Oh yeah. So it says how Helldivers 2 engineered obedience and why it works, and they got 4,600 views on that one. Yeah. Let's see if they have other ones. Productivity Crib. Yeah. So when you're
that one did really well for them.
Yeah. So when you're packaging these up, I would try to do more like that. Hold on. Why team managers fail, a psychological analysis through battle. Hold on. Is this Battle Royale or something? Through Battle Brothers. Okay. Through a different game. Yeah. So it looks like, hold on, why smart leaders get stuck and what Slay the Spire reveals. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like those videos where you're doing that similar idea seem to be getting a better response. Why you act too late under tactical and strategic pressure, not so much on that one. But on some of these, right, where you're making that direct connection in the title in terms of how the game, like this game equals this, essentially, right? In terms of, you know, this game equals this benefit, or, you know, whatever that thing is, would be the thing that I would lean into more, kind of like you're doing here in here with these. And also, when it comes to your titles, try to make them a little bit tighter. Here you have why great leaders lose control, StarCraft 2, and the architecture of decision failure. Yeah, so try to tighten those titles up a bit too, to where you see how this is getting truncated. You want to make sure that your titles are set up in a way to where all of the important stuff that's going to connect with your viewers is all, you know, up here. If it gets cut off just a little bit, it's fine. But here you have entire, multiple words that are getting cut off. So because of that, I would definitely try to, minimize the amount of words that you're using in your titles too. Like, as you can see here, you can see everything, you can see everything, you can see everything, right? You can see everything. But on some of these that are getting cut off, sometimes that can work against you. So just make sure the thing that matters the most to the viewer is going to be up front.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I don't know. I think we got it though. In terms of, trying to make that connection would be the next thing that I would experiment with. Yeah. I would be really aggressive about that. And also because these worked well, right? So let me just see something here in terms of recency. Oh, Helldivers 2 Engineer. Yeah, so this is still like your number 3 video in 90 days. And then you have the strategy mistakes that break great systems. So one thing I want to bring to your attention on this one is here, the whole thing is about, the strategy and how it breaks the system. And then people still responded to that one, which is good. Like that's the best video that you had in 90 days. So, so people are responding to that sort of thing as well. But one thing that I would definitely do is I would work on at least one theme around this. And by theme, I mean, either every video or every so many videos that you're like, okay, I'm going to make it part of my strategy to where every X amount of videos, I publish a how game, helps them with whatever problem, right? And just try to frame that sort of thing because people are, responding to those types of things too. So yeah, I would go with that approach right now. And then for the ones that did better, like where was that 22,000 one right here? Yeah, so for like this one, yeah, I mean, you're already doing the right thing here because you're trying to map what they responded to here to this and this. So you're taking the right approach there also in terms of like, okay, they responded here, so let me repeat it. So yeah, I think you're doing the right thing, and I think you're heading in the right direction. But I would definitely try to continue following themes like you're doing here when you find things that work. I would definitely try to make some type of theme or series around. Oops, that's not it. Around this sort of thing. And then also when you do have ones that, do substantially better than everything else, or outliers we call them, then in that case also thinking like, okay, we have Helldivers 2 and, how it engineers obedience. What else could Helldivers 2 possibly engineer? Because they responded to this. So then, it could be, how Helldivers 2 engineers, patience or, whatever, other, theories you have around management and stuff. So yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, like that would be a fun one to just sit and stew on for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just come up with a bunch of different ideas. Yeah, like you have one of those channels where it's like, okay, let's spend like a whole day just like sitting there going through, trying to come up with,
my thoughts exactly.
Yeah, that's like whiteboard stuff
it's always fun, like looking at this stuff on the spot, and sometimes you come across something, it's challenging. Mm-hmm. You're like, okay, well, how do you crack this nut?
Yep.
Yeah, you could just sit around with a group of people trying to figure out how to brainstorm.
Yeah, and they say how game teaches X is so clear and orienting. Yeah, and that's part of the thing too, right? So like when they see it on their, homepage or suggested videos or subscription feed even, to where they're like, oh, okay, now let's see how this game can, helps me demonstrate these things.
Yeah. Hey, Nikki, good to see you.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so next up we've got, we did tactical mindscapes. So next up we have Watch Supreme React. Watch Supreme React uploads every other day, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. That a reaction content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. And they say, should I add shorts or just keep long form? So when you are considering adding shorts to your YouTube channel,
good.
One of the things that's really important to think about. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Tactical Mindscape. Appreciate it. Glad that was useful in some way. So, when it comes to adding shorts to your YouTube channel as content creators, we often think that we have to do those things because they're available. It's important to make sure that when you are making content, it's important to make sure that you're thinking about, okay, if I am publishing, long form content to my channel, then one, do I have the bandwidth to do shorts? Or if I add shorts to what it is that I'm doing, is it going to make it to where I'm probably going to burn myself out? Two, do you enjoy making shorts? If you do, then then that's probably something that you want to add to your content. Three is you want to make sure that you also don't do shorts just for the sake of doing shorts. You want to make sure that you also are very clear on why you're publishing shorts as well. So for example, like I'm publishing shorts because I know there's people that would love my content that I could add value to, that are hanging out on the short shelf, that maybe while they're in the bathroom or while they have some downtime, but they don't, their cognitive load has been spent for the day, and because of that, they don't want to watch some 40-minute video. So because of that, let me make some short form content that, that if they're there swiping in the short shelf, that they can run into me there, right? Or if you're like, well, shorts are good for, if I can get some hits in shorts, they're really good for, generating subscribers quickly and all of that. And because I'm still working on getting people to click on my thumbnails and coming up with good topics there, and I haven't really gotten good at that yet, So because of that, I'm going to practice like hooks and grabbing people's attention and all that stuff in shorts so that I can practice over there, so that as I get better on coming up with video topics and packaging them up through my thumbnail and titles, that by the time I get good at that, I'll also be able to use what I've learned in shorts to also make better long form content and grab people's attention when the video starts and all that. Then in that case, you also have that clear purpose for shorts, right? So just making sure that you do have that purpose. Other things too, if you're somebody that, is doing YouTube for business related reasons, shorts can also be good for getting you in front of people that might not be clicking on your regular videos, that type of thing as well, because they just show up in people's feeds. And Roberto Blake, he said that he would add live streaming before adding shorts if your goal is monetization and revenue growth to be full-time.
Live streaming before shorts.
Yeah, I think the only contrast to that would be technical hurdles and the comfort, right? Because I know a lot of people are intimidated by live streaming. So if you're not, then yeah, live streaming is great. BD Fresh is the next channel here. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do how-to and algorithm testing content. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I've learned a lot through testing YouTube Shorts. Unfortunately, my most recent short underperformed because it published it around 2 a.m., not really realizing how important the first 1 or 2 hours are for YouTube's initial audience testing and distribution. This was actually one of my stronger shorts, featuring a solid hook, engaging motion graphics, and comment-driven CTA, designed to spark competition between fandoms. My question is, what's the best way to reboot the short? Would reposting be worth it, or would losing the existing comments and engagement hurt more than it would help? I just learned how to create custom-made thumbnails for shorts, so that will be correct moving forward. Okay, so when it comes to shorts, don't worry about, deleting them and republishing them. I would not do that. Instead, just make another piece of content. When it comes to your publishing time, it's also important to know, like, if you just publish that video and it's not doing that great, sometimes it can take shorts, a few days to like really start moving at all. Sometimes you'll publish a short and it'll get like no activity whatsoever. You get like 3 views on it and you're like, oh my gosh. And then, a few days go by, and then out of nowhere, it starts getting that spike because they started testing it, or they start putting it in front of, the people that are going to be a good fit for that short. So because of that, I wouldn't mess with that short. I would just leave it there.
Don't touch it.
Yep. Next up, we've got Graceful Wings. What do you think this one's about, D?
Graceful
Wings, as in like flying like a bird. Yep, like bird wings.
Graceful Wings is either going to be a female gaming channel.
Interesting.
But she's not graceful. She's a stone cold killer. Stone
So like
cold
war games
killer.
and stuff.
Yeah, Call of Duty, first person shooter type stuff. Just brutal, savage, nothing graceful about it.
Interesting.
Slayer. Or it's going to be something about religion.
Nice.
There's no in between on that one.
Nice.
Yep.
So
I mean, I'm running like 10 for 10 on this. So.
nice. Yeah, so Larry mentions, he says he's never deleted a short or any video. Yeah, I've deleted content. I've deleted videos. I've deleted a lot of live streams. Like, I've deleted probably over 1 million. Actually, I know for a fact, in one swing, I think on one afternoon, I deleted, I think it was like 1.2 or 1.3 million views in live stream content.
I've deleted a lot of mine,
Yeah,
too.
just because it was like old content. So I was just like, took it down. I unlisted it. For those. So yeah, I definitely have.
What kind of channel is it?
So Graceful Wings.
It's a
Hold on. They upload every other day.
I know it is.
It is godly content.
Told you.
Yep. The main goal of the channel is to have fun. And they say, why am I posting a short and getting 0 views the first day that it's uploaded? So it could be because YouTube hasn't found the audience for that short yet. It could be because that 1 view immediately swiped away. But let me just see what's going on in your shorts. Yeah, so don't scroll. Wait a minute. Choose a color. Everything is possible. Thanks to all. What a good start. Yeah, so make real titles for your shorts and see if it makes a difference or not. Another thing that you're up against right now is that I just clicked on this and it's literally just like an image. So even though you can do, images as shorts, just keep in mind that, what you're offering here isn't something that is, if I was offering this, I would be concerned about the future of my channel.
Are you going to show this?
Yeah.
Hey, Carlos, how you doing, man?
Yeah, so right here, so with this, I'm guessing there's a story or you're reading something here. I'm not sure because I can't hear it. But in terms of like no motion at all happening in the video, on Graceful Wings of God, let's do the same. Yeah, and then like please support this channel, like this type of thing. Like this is exactly the type of content that YouTube doesn't want, right? This isn't about the viewer at all. This is all about you. Right. And remember that, you know, when it comes to YouTube, everything is about the viewer. And that means that when you're making content, it's not about people supporting you. It's about you giving people content that they enjoy and that they get some type of value from. And if they get that type of value, then they will support you by, you know, because they just will. So what you're doing here is you're doing everything in reverse. So one, you're doing just images. So I wouldn't do that. Two is, you know, you're interrupting actual real content with, you know, things, you know, begging or asking people to support the channel. So don't do that. And when it comes to this, I would at the very least, if you're going to put the text on here like this, at least have a video background with the text on there, something like that to make it a little bit more. It's still going to be super easy to repeat and, you know, all of that stuff. But yeah, everything that's happening right here is the kind of stuff that YouTube is not. Yeah, this is another one right here, you know, supporting the channel. Yeah, like this is the type of stuff that is like this isn't really content is what I'm getting at.
These are Instagram posts.
Yeah, these are Instagram posts. These are, you know, things that you might post on Pinterest or something like that. Like this isn't really YouTube content.
The good news is you can change that.
Yes.
Good news is you can change that today by thinking through, okay, if I want to make shorts, what can I actually make with shorts that could be helpful to somebody?
Yeah.
Maybe if your channel's it's a religious channel,
and the whole thing's inspiring too. They have like if it's if it's impossible, make it possible, and things like that. So like, you know, you're like the motives are good there in terms of, you know, you sharing these inspiring messages, but you need to do it in a different way.
Right. Can you go on cam? Or can you show your Bible from like a POV type of shot where you're reading through scripture? Can you do something where it's an actual video to where somebody can actually connect with you as a human? But if you're just putting those images up on the screen like that you're not going to get very far on YouTube that way.
Speaking of connecting as a human, what do you think about the UFO stuff that just got rolled out yesterday? I'm derailing this one just for the conversation because I think it's interesting.
Thank you for that. I think there's some interesting stuff. I'm going to, maybe tomorrow I might go. So it's like war.gov where they're dumping all of that stuff.
What do you think? Like, what do you guys think of the UFO stuff that's coming out right now? Let us know in the comments.
There's been some interesting things. The thing that interests me the most are some of the statements said by astronauts and some of the photos that they have when they're on the moon, up into space. But I want to dig into all this stuff that they're releasing. And see from right there. I don't know. It's interesting. I understand it's unidentified flying objects, so they don't really give us context, and they redact so much stuff in those videos, so we're kind of left to our own conclusions on that. But I think it's interesting. I mean, yeah.
I think I'm there with Agent Casey. Agent Casey says I'm waiting to be told what I should know.
Yeah. Should I be worried about this?
Right. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think with this type of thing, they can do it in a much better way. So instead of being like, "Hey, here's all this stuff that you can sift through and try to make out of it whatever it is that you want," so that we can just kind of perpetuate conspiracy theories and stuff.
Right.
They should be like, "We have real, whatever the thing is, of this, or we do not have anything that makes us believe that there is something else."
Yeah. Or,
like it's pretty clear in terms of, you know, how they should release that, but in typical general fashion, it's all botched, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it would be great to have some notes along with that, and like, and here's this object that, quite frankly, has us a bit concerned.
Yeah. Right.
We're you know, this thing pops up every 6 years like clockwork, and we're a little bit worried.
Right.
Or these are nothing to worry about. That'd be a great message. Here's all of this stuff. It's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
We have a answer for all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, Roberto says, I think someone could go viral doing an AI-assisted video series, hosting their own conspiracy show around using around the footage and files. Yeah, this would be a great opportunity right now, too, for somebody to do like an on-camera version, too.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, take this photo, make a whole thing about that. Then let's take this photo, make a whole thing about that. Take this photo, make a whole thing about that, right? And then, and build all that stuff out. So, yeah, I think I think that would be good.
I have a TikTok account that is just begging
for that.
For this, yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I have like 40,000 followers over there.
Yep.
And it's just begging for that sort of thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, my perspective on it, I think, is that instead of just giving people stuff, that they should just be clear on like, yes, we think this, or no, we do not.
Yeah.
And just make it clear. Because otherwise, it just kind of, throws everything up in the air, and it makes it to where everybody's still going to be not satisfied. I mean, it keeps people from looking at the other files, but in terms of
that, yeah.
but in terms of it coming to any type of conclusion on like, hey, are we alone or are we not alone? Just giving us a bunch of stuff to work on, like or look through. It doesn't answer any of those questions. It just creates more questions, and I think that's wrong.
They're great at distracting us.
They are.
They're fantastic at distracting.
But like or releasing that particular stuff, like without any type of information attached to it in terms of, we have this that proves that, fill in the blank, or we just haven't granted anything yet that we think is concrete evidence of, and then fill in the blank. I think they need to make their call and share their stance.
The most interesting thing, and we briefly talked about this over coffee today, is when the news starts breaking, the government's releasing these UFO files. We're like, I contacted him and I'm just like, hey, they're releasing this stuff. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll look at it later. Under normal circumstances, that's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. If this was 10 years ago, I would have stopped everything that I was doing.
If this is 2018, probably.
Yep.
We are so desensitized and just drilled constantly with these headlines. So it's like, UFO stuff's coming out from the White House.
Yep.
This is a big deal. And everybody's like,
right.
Meh.
Yep.
That's interesting, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild.
Like, this should have been breaking news around the world.
Yep.
Like,
log into YouTube. There's one video on YouTube.
Right.
And it's like, hey, everybody needs to know this. This is what's going on. Yeah.
We interrupt.
Yeah. Right.
Every station, like a presidential speech, but globally, we interrupt today's broadcast.
Yep.
We're at a round table with like heads of
But because
NASA.
that didn't happen, it tells you it's a nothing burger.
Yes.
Right? It says that basically they're just releasing a bunch of stuff just to keep people busy.
Yeah.
And, instead of it actually being anything that matters.
Yeah. I agree with the original assessment on that. Tell me if I should be concerned.
Yep.
That's all I need to know. Do I need to stock up on toilet paper?
And Courageous Painting, dropping the real thing here, says, I'll care about UFOs when I means that I can stop going to work, right? Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, it's like that type of thing. Like, okay,
Bottom
UFOs,
line,
yes, no. Do I still have to pay bills?
Right.
Like, is that a thing? Yeah,
Okay,
right.
great. All you guys need to tell me, White House, is number one, am I required to pay taxes? And do I have to go to work tomorrow? That's all I need to know.
Right. And should my family go start digging a hole to hide in somewhere?
Right.
Yeah.
Are we in danger? Do I have to pay taxes this year?
Yep.
And do I have to go to work tomorrow?
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
If the answer's yes, you have to pay taxes. No, you don't have to go.
Then it's not that serious.
And yes, you have to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Then it's not that serious.
Then don't bother me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's wild. So the next question here is from Derek Reacts. Derek Reacts does daily content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do body cam reaction channel. The question is, I've reacted to a few videos of Spirit Airlines customers being arrested. Now I want to make a short dedication video where I'm sad about how I'm going to miss the entertainment Spirit brought me while showing clips from past videos. Do you think that aligns with my regular body cam reaction content? It's not reaction content, so if it's not reaction content, it's going to be a little bit out of alignment. However, that might be something fun, though, for your viewers, right? That might be something fun to where, they might be able to, for the most, core people that you have, it might be interesting for them for that particular video. They might see some novelty in it. Yeah, and Roberto says, just remember that people didn't really freak out enough about the Snowden stuff. Yeah.
People don't freak out about anything, but UFOs. Some of those clips.
I think saying that there is.
Yeah.
If there was, proven alien life, I think saying that, we think there is.
Yeah.
Would be a bigger announcement than the Snowden stuff.
Yeah.
Because with the Snowden stuff, like everybody kind of knows all of that
we're
stuff.
Just completely being spied on.
Right. It's like, not really surprised.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to, alien life and things like that, getting some type of thing to where it's like, yeah, we're about an 80% chance that we're onto something here.
Yeah.
Like that would be like a game changing thing in terms of just how people view everything.
Yeah.
You know, everything that we've learned in our lives.
Yeah.
And the Prog Corner says they're pretty sure that they are an alien. I'm pretty sure we all are, actually.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to. I just want to know if I need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Or not.
Right.
Like I said, they should have had breaking news round table with like somebody from Department of Defense, NASA heads. Like, I mean, it should have been like a round table of geniuses who have seen this stuff to just like give their input and let us know what each thing is, and if we should be concerned or what they think it is.
Yep.
That'd been awesome. Just like take like an hour, pick the things that we're going to freak out the most about, and just let us know what's up.
Yeah.
How hard would that be, Fox News or Sky News or CNN or whoever? Yeah.
Joe Unfiltered is our next question here. Joe Unfiltered uploads 1 time per week or more. The type of channel is Spirits. Goal is to have fun. And the question is, I'm just past my 1.5 year mark making videos. I've tried all sorts of different tactics to grow my audience. I recently boosted my long form posting schedule to 2 times per week with shorts 4 times per week. Can you please review my channel and let me know what opportunities I have? Thanks, guys. So yeah, let's take a look at what you're doing, Joe.
And it's such a nothing burger, by the way. I just want to note that nobody even brought it up in the chat until you did. Like, that should have been big chat news today.
Yeah, right. Hey, did you guys see the alien news or the UFO news? Yeah, like nobody cares. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yep. Yeah, it's
That's
wild.
wild.
It is wild.
That's how desensitized we
Yep.
are.
Yeah, it hasn't come up once, at least that I've seen. It hasn't come up. It hasn't come up here once.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wild.
Nobody cares.
So let's take a look at Joe's channel here, D. See what Joe's got going on. So join me as I explore the world of whiskey, history, and hiking. Okay, right there, there's a little bit of an issue.
Are they drunk hiking?
I'm not sure. So join me as I explore the world of whiskey, history, and hiking. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Joe.
Super chat.
Says, from bourbon to mountain trails and stories of the Wild West, I'm Joe, a whiskey enthusiast diving into the rich history, unique flavors, and distilling traditions that make this spirit so special. You'll find reviews, tastings, blind whiskey battles, distillery tours, and engaging live streams with our growing community. When I'm not discussing whiskey, you'll see fun history content. Okay. Yeah, so here, I would just be mindful. Hold on, let me actually see what you're publishing, because there's what you say in the About Me page, and then there's what you're publishing. Okay, Buffalo Trace secretly released 3 E.H. Taylor brand proof batches. Okay, that's whiskey related. Okay, uncovering the golden era of whiskey. Okay, it's history, but it is still whiskey related, so that's okay. Yep. One thing that I would definitely do, though, is you can see right here that the thing that grabs attention is forgotten history, and you're showing the whiskey and all of that, but there's no real emphasis on those things. So instead of like forgotten history, if you're trying to connect with people that care about whiskey, make this, forgotten whiskey history, right? And then have whiskey. These aren't cat videos. Have whiskey as the highlight word instead of history, right? In terms of the word that's red, so it grabs people's attention. Definitely do that sort of thing here. And also, is it worth it? Yeah, like this is okay. The thumbnail's a little bit messy in terms of there's just a lot of stuff to look at here. So this is another one of those things. We're just taking a cool shot of the whiskey, having that, on the screen right here. So whiskey enthusiasts can just see that and know that the video is about that would be something worth going. Little things that are making this messy is like the question mark next to you or next to, your co-host here. And like the $sign on the bottle, like those types of things. Like I would mute that. I would remove that question mark. I would actually size you guys down. I would remove the text completely. And then I would have knob in the middle and then make both of you guys bigger on each side of this would be the thing that I would try to do there. I'm trying to do, let me see something here really quick. Yeah, my stuff for zoom in on this is broken at the moment. So let's see here. So as we keep going down, okay, bourbon, clear. Yeah, this is another one where you guys are focused on, where you guys are focused on you guys instead of focusing it on what the viewers, where'd it go? Yeah, right here. So you're focusing this on you guys instead of focusing it on what the viewers care about, right? So for this one, you can see that how stands out, right? When you look at this, you guys stand out. The 1K gets a little bit taken away by the white border that you have around the guy on the right-hand side. And then the red arrow going into the orangish colored, whiskey gets kind of lost over there, and it competes with the red bottle. So the thing that should be the star of your thumbnails right now, with where you're at right now, the thing that should be the star of your thumbnails is the whiskey. So that if somebody like Eric Waite Whiskey Studies, if he's on YouTube and he's looking around, looking for content to watch, you want the thing that he cares about, which is, whiskey. You want that to be the thing that is just stupidly obvious in the thumbnail. And then if you make that the focus and you make that the thing that's stupidly obvious, even on suggested videos, this is still going to be something that people can see at a glance. Because the whole game when it comes to YouTube is being able to capture people's attention at a glance, right? So here you highlight the word bourbon, here, bourbon, right? This one where you're not doing that type of thing, you're focusing on how, right? So think about it from the lens of, excuse me, that you're going to be competing on YouTube's homepage with a bunch of other content that YouTube thinks is the, is a perfect fit for those viewers. And because of that, you have to be able to capture their attention at a glance because everybody else is, right? So that's why you want to make sure that you are focused on the whiskey. You can use the words like you're doing here. That's perfectly fine. But you want to make sure that you are putting an emphasis on the whiskey in the thumbnail. So even with this one, if you want to have you guys in it, you can. But I would remove the text entirely, and then I would just make the whiskey bigger, right? So just remove all the text because it doesn't matter, and then just make the whiskey bigger. That would be the play for that one. Let's see here. Just still going. He left Scotland to make American whiskey. Okay, so it looks like even when you're doing history content, it looks like you're still on brand with whiskey-related things. So that's all good. So yeah, so the thing that I would do in your case is I would definitely focus more on the whiskey imagery because it looks like you're losing that imagery. Even here, right? You have from barrel to bottle, and you're focusing on the text here. But the thing that you're trying to bring attention to over on this side, which is the actual bottle, you're covering it up with text, right? So I would go through on all of these thumbnails, and I would think to myself, since I'm trying to connect with people who are into whiskey, how can I make whiskey the star of every thumbnail that I make? Be it through text or through the imagery, so that if somebody sees it on their homepage, that they can instantly connect with it through that text, right? That would be the thing that I would focus on right now on yours. Okay, so next up here, Grow Something Tasty. Thank you for the super chat. Grow Something Tasty says, hey, the advice that you gave me for trying different vegetable with the same thumbnail setup as the watermelons, it worked. I have over 6,000 views in 3 days. Thanks. Gardening with Bear Brown. Love it. Yeah, those types of things. So what he's talking about right there is last week we pulled up his channel and we noticed just some themes that were going on and some videos that people responded to well. And the whole concept that was shared was to try to build some additional themes around that and structure things in a similar way. And when you find those things that people have responded to, trying to replicate them in some way, around the different things that you talk about. And so you can create some type of, theme and something that has been proven to work for you. And then you just keep, working on that theme. And then if it continues to work, then you keep, kind of leaning into that theme. So awesome to see that worked out well for you. And also, we have Renee Ritchie in the house.
Renee Ritchie has
Welcome
arrived.
to the stream. Right as we're closing it down, he slides in like Indiana Jones grabbing his hat. Right? Yep. Gates coming down.
Such an iconic
Yep.
scene.
He swings in, grabs his hat, comes back out right as the gate closes.
Yep.
What's up, Renee? Hope you're doing
Good
awesome,
to see
man.
you. Hey, Tish. Good
Yep.
to see you too.
So on that note, I do want to remind you,
Gate is
if
closed.
you are, it is. Yeah, on that note, I do want to remind you, if you are a content creator who is stuck right now, or you're a content creator that is getting started, or you've been on YouTube for a bit and things just aren't going your way yet, remember that YouTube comes with a learning curve, just like anything else that you're going to do. It can be frustrating sometimes. It can be discouraging sometimes. Sometimes you're going to feel like you're doing all the right things, but it's just not working out. But what that actually means is that there's just more things that you have to learn how to do. It's usually built around your skill sets or your understanding of you know, your viewers and that sort of thing. So because of that, hang in there. You got this. Keep looking at what it is that you're doing. Just start thinking, okay, if people aren't responding, if they're not clicking on my videos, then that means I need to work on my topics, my titles, and my thumbnails, right? If people aren't continuing to watch my videos, then that means if they click on them, but they're not continuing to watch, then that means that I need to really start digging into how people are responding to my videos. I need to look in my audience retention reports so that I can see data on how people are responding to my videos. I need to watch my videos back myself and try to look at them through the eyes of the viewers and start thinking to myself, like, hey, is this wasting the viewers' time? If I were to see this on a stranger's channel and I was watching this, would I be getting value out of this part of the video? Those types of things. Would this beginning of this video, would this grab my attention? Compare your videos in terms of, you know, how you're opening your videos and all that stuff compared to other people that are successful in your niche, those types of things. But work on your skill sets is going to get you further than anything else that you can do. So hang in there. You got this. Have a great rest of your weekend. We got a bunch of helpful tools and resources for you down in the description. So make sure that you do check those out. Remember, Mother's Day is tomorrow. Nikki, thank you for that reminder. So, Mom, if you watch this, happy Mother's Day. Love you.
Yep.
And
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Yep. Twin Powers activate. Yep.
Yeah.
Good stream.
Yeah.
Wonder Twins. Yeah.
Come on. How did you mess that up?
Yeah, I know, right?
You grew up watching it.
Yeah, I know, right?
How did you mess it up?
Right.
Just like you messed up the thumbnail of this stream.
Yeah, and the song.
And the song.
Yep. How did I mess up the thumbnail? Oh, yeah.
And the claymation.
Yep. Coming after you, D.
It's going to be a long ride home.
Yep.
It's going to be a long ride home.
Nice.
Have a great one.
Yeah, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time. And if this is your first stream, just a heads up, we do this every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so make sure that you swing by next time. And also, once I hit the end button here, it's going to send you over to the Opus Clip stream where Roberto Blake is going to be, here in about an hour, he's going to be talking about how to use shorts for gaming content. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you do check that out as well.
Quick,
and yeah,
you can't close it down just yet. Form of, what are you taking a form of?
Water.
Shape of a bucket.
There we go. Boom. Let's do it.